All Nation. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye. Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye. Come on. As the room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit the like, share this content, let a friend, let that neighbor, let everybody know. Come on. Ain't no party like the Cowboys party. Come on. But what about a stay-at-home groove? And we got front row seats. To the Super Bowl. Brought to you by Jerry Jones. Come on. Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye.
You have an unnatural allegiance to losers. It's not like it.
5, 4, 3, 2. Let me know if the audio's straight. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye.
I want me some glory hole.
Come on, Jerry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on. Appreciate you. One love to the HBO gang. Shout out to the notification squad. Shout out to the sabotage gang too. Sabotage gang, boy. Appreciate everybody. Let's say appreciate you. Happy birthday to you. Thank you for circling the sun 365 once again. Appreciate you. Salute to all of the people that's beyond the ice wall, the aliens. Shout out to y'all. You know, the Anunnakis, man. Appreciate y'all too. Shout out to everybody, Jerry Jones, John Stephen Jones, Jason Garrett, salute to him, and Mike McCarthy, you know, Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells, everybody, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Ashaniqua, Pookie, and Ray Ray. Hey, appreciate them too. And Eastside Harold, hold it down for the state of Texas, Eastside. Hold it down, man. Hold it down for us, man. CJ and them, hold it down, man. Just don't play like the Cowboys, man. You know, represent the star that's somewhere on y'all helmet. They got a star somewhere on their helmet, don't they? Shout out to Ray Lewis, appreciate you, man. Yeah, we in that situation. Do you extend Dak Prescott right now? And that will be the proper way, believe it or not, because you can save a lot of money. Or do you let him play out his final contract deal? Because that's what a lot of people are talking about too. The annual Dak Prescott survey, like, are you team Dak Prescott or you not? You know, those type of things we're going to talk about. But, hey, before I get going on anything else, man.
We answered, I talk stuff, I thought we had it, but it goes to show you who's a better team.
Nah.
You're crying.
Hey, goodbye.
I love my Eagles. I don't believe it.
You gonna clap the hat one more time for the Eagles? Hey.
Let's go, birds fly, Eagles fly.
Goodbye. Yes, indeed. Salute to Monty, man. Come on, grab that couch, man. Hey, we got popcorn and everything for you, man. And salute to Jalen Hurts. And hey, 4 more years for Nick Sirianni, man. Don't get rid of Nick Sirianni. You know, keep him around, and let's keep the Eagles exactly where they are at. Look, they don't have to change a thing. They can just keep things going. It's working out well for them, right? So they can keep that situation there. Now, we got no room to talk, man. It didn't make me feel good watching the Eagles get beat down by the Bucs. It didn't. It didn't make me feel good because we the only home team to na 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 hey 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 goodbye. We the only home team, man. I thought it was supposed to be no place like home. I thought we supposed to figure out ways to win that game at the crib. And now I'm looking back at the all 22.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Man, hey, Cat, man. Cat, where you at, dog? I didn't know you was up in here. You know, it just helps a little bit, y'all. And we are in that situation that the Dallas Cowboys themselves is all in a shambles. Do we keep Mike McCarthy? Is he a situation and scenario for us? You know, wait a minute.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Cat, wait a minute. Cat, man. All right, so, well, let me figure this out. Shane Gailey, Dave Campo, Bill Parcells, okay, and then we had Wade Phillips, and then we had Jason Garrett. Now it's Mike McCarthy. We can obviously see that Mike McCarthy is better than Jason Garrett. There's nobody that can out-debate me with that. He is by far better than Jason Garrett, right? So we tarnished that whole relations year one in 2020 because we kept a piece of Jason Garrett in the building, and his name is Kellen Moore, right? So we kept that. We kept Kellen Moore. And the first year without Kellen Moore, we seen an increase with the quarterback play. Yes or no? Did Dak Prescott play better with or without Kellen Moore? We can all say that he played a better situation without Kellen Moore, right? So here's the thing. I heard, and I was saying before the season started, hold on. FBI, open up! Wait a minute. Taxes not due and all of that stuff is not due to a couple of months until after April. But we were saying that this defense is juggernaut of a defense. We were saying that, hey, this defense at the start of the season, man, this defense like the 85 Bears, right? What people were saying that, you know. People were saying that this defense was like the 2000 Ravens. People were saying that anyone can get these type of dubs with this particular defense. And people were saying that this defense is the leading of the team. Even Mike McCarthy conceded and said that, hey, we're going to play clock management and lean on the defense, and all Dak Prescott got to do is drive the bus.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Hey, leave me alone, Cat. Wait a minute now. You must be talking about Jerry Jones or somebody. You definitely ain't talking about me.
Get your damn act together. Don't like your attitude.
All right, Jerry, but hold on. You the one said you want glory holes and all of that, right? So what I'm trying to say here is we far from that. We know that defense wet the bed. We know that the offense didn't look like it was on rhythm. So, or in the groove of things. So after looking like, my guy Dre Maddox says, Jason Garrett 8-8 Kang. Mike McCarthy, Mr. 12-5. You got to put Kang on the end of it, though. Hey, 8-8 Kang, 12-5 Kang. So that's the difference of situations, you know. That's the difference, you know. So that's why I said even if we had a time machine and gave Tony Romo Mike McCarthy, we would have at least made it more times in the playoffs, right? But that's a whole nother storyline, and that's a whole nother situation as well, ladies and gentlemen. before we talk about coaching and what's going to happen and what's needed to happen, we're going to go over what the people are talking about with Dak Prescott. We're going to go over the coaching staff that we have today, right? These are the coaching staff that we have today. And we're going to go over each positioning and what we need to do. And then we're going to dive into, like, you know, the 105.3, The Fan did a great segment on coaching. So those are the things that we're going to go over today. And if you have time, just hang around and hang out with me. Hold on for a few seconds. We'll wait for a few more people to get in on this. Get in on this, man. Y'all hit the like, share this content. Get in on this one, man. Get in on this one. Metaphor, appreciate you, man. Thank you for jumping in. Salute to Metaphor. He says, yo, Law Commanders welcome you to the East Couch. Yes, man. We on the east side of the couch, man. We got the best seat of the couch. Y'all got to move out the way. We got the best seat on the couch. Yes, indeed. All right, so here's what I want to say before we play this audio. Here's what I want to say. I want to give a pre-shame to the Jones administration, the Jones family. I want to give a pre-shame to them. Hold on, let me make sure I can read your comments before I go over there. Hold on. Pre-shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Because all we heard during the season were those boys talking, right? And they announced today on 105.3 The Fan that Jerry Jones and John Stephen Jones are not going to talk on the radio station this week, nor next week, or what have you. And all I can say is, well, damn, don't stop that now. Don't pull, and don't do that now. Don't pull the Dan Quinn now. All of a sudden, we played man-to-man defense all year long. Then we get to the playoffs, oh, let's play some zone. And your guys not even zone coverage guys, right? They are man-to-man people because all year they've been doing man-to-man. And what I told y'all, hey, if you're sitting on this side of the couch, stay right there. Whatever you did last week, continue to do the exact same thing. Why all of a sudden we get to the playoffs, we want to switch up some stuff, man. You know, that's just crazy to me. That's foolish. But Woosa, my counselor and my psychiatrist told me to say Woosa, you know, goose frabar, you know. But why you want to change it up altogether? Shout out to you, salute to you, Sadiq. Shout out to you, Lord Nova. No, but I'm sitting here, I'm mad at the Jones family. I want to hear y'all talk now. You know, all of that time we didn't want y'all to talk, y'all talking. But now all of a sudden, hey, man, we met our media obligation. Or do the obligata, whatever you say. No, y'all going to have to talk, man. That's crazy. Don't be ducking now. We wanted y'all to hush all through the season, but now all of a sudden, when everything is done, y'all want to stop talking? Come on, man. If I'm 105, I say, nope, I don't want to hear your conversation when they want to talk 3 weeks from that. No, nope. They ain't going to run away from that bag. But, yeah, man, all of that yapping they were doing before the season, they need to start doing it now. And during the season, we need to hear some questionings and answers of what's going on.
Sustained success over the last decade or so are these coaches that are coming off of the McVay, Shanahan type of coaching tree. Right. Like, people who break off from there have had success, like pretty consistent success. Tons of success against Dan Quinn, as you referenced earlier. Dan Quinn has not been able to stop these former coaches that he coached with, Mike McDaniel, Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan. Those guys have absolutely run him and made it difficult.
And who are those next guys on the up and up?
So that's the thing. If you want to, again, if we're...
All right, so a tree is known by the fruit it bears, right? That's biblical, I believe, right? That's somewhere in the word. And we've been talking about, like, when you start talking about this game of football, the things that you do should be relatable to something. Principle, scheme, concepts, all of those great things. So when we were still holding on the legacy of Bill Parcells when he was here. Jason Witten, Tony Romo, those are Bill Parcells people, right? DeMarcus Ware, although, he went and got his Super Bowl elsewhere. But then when you start breaking down his coaching philosophy, principle, Dan Campbell, Sean Payton, all of those boys, they come from Bill Parcells' tree. Even though, Mike, he wasn't really a Bill Parcells guy. Zimmer, he was still a piece of Bill Parcells' knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the game. So we've seen these type of things before. And what I was trying to tell people is that, hey, for all of those years, we held on to Jason Garrett. And I'm not beating up Jason Garrett, but who was his offsprings? Like, who came from the Jason Garrett trait? Oh, nobody but Kellen Moore. He's a piece of Jason Garrett, Scott Linehan's prodigy or son or, prophyte, whatever you want to call. He's a piece of them. So when we start to transfer over to this Shanahan tree, what have you, we seen like principal philosophies and notes that they do as far as pre-snap motioning, reads, and the ability to take care of certain things as it relates to offense. It's just, they all have a particular scheme that's put into place that you can tangibly put your hands on it. Dez went in on Garrett on the Pivot podcast. Tez, appreciate you. I just saw the notifications on that right before I hit live, and I said, dog, I'm going to have to take a look at that. But that's a whole nother storyline, That is pieces of Jason Garrett. This is from Yogi. Yeah. But there's layers to that, too, because there's also players and there's also coaching. Right, that's from absolute coaches. So if you want to say whatever a player is from what they were able to get from, then yeah, I can see that from an argument aspect. But I'm talking about from a level of coaching, right? When we start talking about coaching, what major principle philosophy are you coming from? Who was your look? Every person need a mentor. Every person need a mentee, and every person need peer-to-peer. You need a mentor of someone that can guide you to take you to higher heights, right? And then you need to be able, as a leader, to be able to share your knowledge to someone else so that they can hold the torch. And then on top of that, in order for you to gain any ground, you won't have to have some peers, like my peers, like people that's in the same category in the groups with me. But there would never be a peer-to-peer situation that you're going to gain information that puts you way over the top. But that's a whole nother situation. Let's play the rest of this.
We're talking about, let's say the Super Bowl experience is not what you're looking for, but you do want, there's a couple options for you if you want previous head coaching experience who also have worked in the Shanahan or McVay tree, and they are decent names. Raheem Morris, who's currently the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams and is really well thought of as a defensive coach and has previously been a head coach at a stop. That would be one. And Raheem Morris actually has position or experience coaching on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. He's done both. Anthony Lynn, who Jerry is familiar with. Jerry, he actually coached here in Dallas in the mid-2000s under Parcells. Yep, he was a Chargers head coach. He was also on Parcells' staff. Jerry was really good to him after he got in an accident while he was here on the coaching staff. Anthony Lynn has always talked about how much he appreciated that. Lynn has coached recently. He has been in San Francisco this year coaching the running game with the 49ers under Shanahan. And then this is the one that I think is really interesting. Steve Wilks, who is now the defensive coordinator in San Francisco.
He got screwed in Arizona.
And then last year, you remember, he had to step in and finish out the season for Carolina, and he got them to go 500 the rest of the way. And there was a strong push from people that, hey, Steve should be given the job here in Carolina. But from what you hear, Tepper wanted an offensive coach. Yeah. And so because he wanted an offensive coach, Steve Wilks didn't get the opportunity. He goes to San Francisco to become the defensive coordinator. But that is a guy who is highly respected by players, has been an NFL head coach, has shown some success that he wasn't really given an opportunity to sustain, but has shown some, minimal success in his short window and has coached under this Shanahan tree. It's on the defensive side, but hey, we've seen the D'Amico Ryans thing is working out pretty well right now.
Oh boy, good.
Bobby Slowick, who is having success as the offensive coordinator, he started as a defensive coach kind of in that Shanahan system. And so that still has extended and been able to work out. So if you wanted somebody who just hadn't made a Super Bowl but has previous experience,
all right,
been able to work out.
Before 16 seconds left on that one. Before we go into the details of what they're saying as far as the coaching aspect of it, write this down or store it in your memory. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. The Dallas Cowboys, at the end of the day, Jerry Jones needs absolute power. He said from his mouth that he would never give that up again. He gave it up once before, even though they were successful. He said he would never give that up again. He used the word never, right? And some people, when you have that mindset, you're not finna fold back. Who's going to tell Jerry Jones that he made a mistake and was wrong on it and going to change his mind? A reprobated mind at that. He's not finna change his mind. So I get what Chad Ochocinco said, that, hey, Jerry, fall back. But Jerry is not listening to Chad Ochocinco, by the way, you know. But to that point and to that degree, you're going to have someone that can move within the spaces of Jerry Jones calmly. You're going to have that. You're going to have someone that can say, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm going to do it your way. Because Jerry Jones, and I'm not beating up Jerry Jones, but his mind is already set. He's not finna change. The man is 82 years old, man. He's 82, 83. He's not finna change. So wishing that is like wishing upon a star, you know.
I want me some glory hole.
Hey, Jerry, it's just what it is. Hey, just write Samsung.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
In the chat, Samsung that's in the chat. Yeah.
Out. So if you wanted somebody who just hadn't made a Super Bowl but has previous experience and comes from that tree, you could look at Raheem Morris, Anthony Lynn, Steve Wilkes. Those are all names that could make sense.
And all of those names, they good names. Good names. I guarantee you my bottom dollar, if Jerry do decide to move on from Mike McCarthy, which Jerry's not. I don't think he will. Because he said from his mouth that he felt like he moved on too quickly from Chan Gailey. Who remember that? Who's old enough to remember? That was the only coach that he kind of felt like, hey, I didn't give him enough time and chances. And the whole Wade Phillips situation, we all know that that was his son, Jason Garrett. And we don't have that type of situation that's going on here now. He was like, wait a minute, I'm going to pay Jason Garrett the same amount of money that I'm paying Wade Phillips. He already had in his mind that he wanted Jason Garrett to be the head coach. But how the rules were.
Not the one who made the rules, right? Do it, left, do it, right, do it, left.
How the rules were, he like, hey, man, all of those investors and all of those people put money in, they couldn't allow a rookie, unseasoned meat coach. Oh, excuse me, apologies, pause. But unseasoned coach, yeah, Jason Garrett to be the head coach. Jason Garrett, he really jumped in front of it because Jason Garrett was on a plane to be the coach for the Baltimore Ravens, right? He was going to be that coach there. They was going to hire him. They was going to hire him. Jerry Jones stepped right in and said, no, that's my son, because I seen Sean Payton do some good stuff over there in Saints land. And I'm not going to let my other son go. So he stepped in and made that happen.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
So, with that being said, I guarantee you, those brother coaches, Anthony Lynn, Raheem Morris, all of those boys, oh, there is a rule called the Rooney Rule, right? They will be interviewed here. They will be interviewed here to solidify the Rooney Rule. That's just what it is. And for anyone and anyone who say about, Jerry Jones, he's the R word or what have you, and I get it, but he gives a lot of brothers some opportunities. Nate Newton wouldn't have, no offense to my guy Big Nate, but Nate Newton wouldn't have a job anywhere else. No offense to my brother, you know what I'm saying? Half of the staff people that's out here, they brothers out here, man. Let me pull up the Cowboys staff, man. I think that we got more brothers on the Cowboys staff than any team in the National Football League outside of the Buccaneers, I believe. Count the brothers. We got 3 down there, let me see. Can y'all see that? You got 3 brothers down there, strength and conditioning, You got special team that's split, So, hey, you got half brother, half bones over here, And then you got all of look at all them brothers there. So we can't, look, everybody on defense, brothers. I'm your brother, don't you know it? He a brother right here. Yeah. He a brother right here. Quality control and giving him an opportunity that he was a safety in the National Football League. Darian Thompson, right? He was a safety. Now he coaching up linebackers. Oops. That's why them linebackers looking like safeties, So we got brothers around here. You look at all them brothers, man. Everywhere you go, brother here, brother there. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like people going to say, well, hey, Law, man, Jerry, man, he ain't giving no brothers no opportunity. Yeah. Have y'all seen Derek Eagleton? Don't y'all know what he's doing over there for the Cowboys? So he's giving brothers opportunities. Come on, man. Willie T, I ain't faking it. Where I'm lying at. But you got to know Texas is just different. That's all I'm going to say. Texas different. Let me know if we all know that there's 2 rules over here. And I'm from Mississippi. I know where I can walk at, and I know where I can't walk at. Hey, I know where sundown states are at or sundown cities. So I know the difference now. In certain parts of Texas, we ain't rolling like that. And certain people that grease certain palms are certain things just like that. And Jerry Jones got to grease everybody palms. But the world don't like that. You know what I'm saying? And Houston is different, y'all. Houston is like Atlanta on steroids. So y'all already know what I'm talking about. For those who, and I'm not trying to make it a white-black situation. But y'all know Texas is different. Look, only a fool will say otherwise. Let me know what they did to JFK out here. So y'all let me know. Where was it? So don't try to play me like I don't know what I'm talking about. And on top of that, he do got Will McClay here in the building. DK said we can go everywhere we want in Texas. Okay. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, what happened to you? Go to that city and say, hey, man, just based off a true story. But look, we ain't finna make it all about that, though, but y'all get what we're saying, though. And don't y'all be foolish around here and act like those are not real things and tangible things. Come on, shoot.
The great Bobby Belt.
You ruined the morning show.
Don't make me take off my belt. Don't make me take off my belt.
If we're to talk about more of
the
these
only
type of
potential coaching candidates who matter.
Potentials.
Maybe not. I don't know. But if you believe that the Dallas Cowboys, should they move on from Mike McCarthy, and you're trying to figure out which coaches could we be talking about here? Could we look at Bobby Slowick?
Yeah.
Could we get Ben Johnson? Could we get one of these people? Well, Todd Archer told us last hour, and I think the prevailing thought is that the Cowboys are not going to hire a first-time.
Wait. Grudge said go where you want in Texas law. You tripping. Brothers, y'all know you can't go everywhere you want in Texas. Look, don't let these people fool y'all who not been in these southern states. You can't go everywhere you want in Mississippi. There's 82 counties in Mississippi. You can't go everywhere you want. You can go everywhere you want in the daytime. Let that lights cut off. And then they're going to be singing songs. They're going to be singing songs. They're going to be singing some songs out here for you. And that just, look, people, I know people are fringe of talking about those type of things. But my thing is, I'm not finna lie to Luke Kane with you. I'm not finna do that. I'm just calling y'all a spade is a spade. That's all I'm saying. So don't y'all get it twisted. I'm telling y'all the truth. But hey, do as you please. Go ahead and be like these kids to say, hey, Out that old man telling these people don't play in the streets are crazy. And you go run and play in the streets while the car's flying through. And then you tell me what's going to happen. You know, just telling y'all the truth. They're just telling y'all the truth.
Head coach, if they go on this search, that's not going to happen.
I think that's a very, very smart thing to do. Very smart. The Andy Reid was a first-time head coach at one point, and Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay and Mike McDaniel. You wouldn't want any of those guys coaching.
I know you're being very sarcastic. I don't think it's the most misguided thought process in the world. If you got a team that's close and you feel like you're kind of teetering and you feel like you just need somebody to push it over the edge, I understand that you wouldn't want to potentially introduce a guy that, do I know that he can even lead a locker room? That I do understand, that if you feel like you're that close, you may not want to take a shot with somebody who's never done it. I at least understand that thought process. Sean, where would you fall down on the idea of, is previous head coaching experience a prerequisite for you, whoever the next head coach for the Cowboys is?
Yes.
Has to be? Does it have to be somebody who's won before, or at least made a Super Bowl? Do you feel like it has to be somebody who's gotten there?
So, I think, do it have to be a coach that's already have a Super Bowl on their resume? Dave Campo had a Super Bowl on his resume. And not as a head coach. Bill Parcells had one on his resume. Wade Phillips, I believe he was on some part of somebody's team. But we know Jason Garrett had a Super Bowl on his resume. So to what extent, playing in the Super Bowl or being as a coach, right? Mike McCarthy. Here's my thing with everything. I'm looking at it like Jerry Jones is the ultimate alpha male. He goes into the room, everybody get quiet. He tells reporters, hey, I know that we're supposed to have this meeting, but I'm no longer going to have this meeting because I already met my obligation. I see y'all in 4 weeks. I don't want to talk. And then they will have to skirt around that. He curves the conversations.
Are you embarrassed? Are you embarrassed as an organization about how the team is playing?
Get your damn act together.
That's what he's going to do. He controls the room. So he have the utmost respect for a lot of people in media. They would not dig too deep. I think you have a short lifespan if you do, right? You get banded and you get exposed if you try to call out too many things. And I'm old enough to remember Jerry Jones did say, never pee off a person with a lot of money, right? He did say that. So, yeah, all of a sudden you get that knocks at your door.
I don't know. Give me some names. I'd be down for Belichick. I'd be down for Harbaugh. You'd have to. The guy who's totally being forgotten. I thought he was a Hall of Famer, and we know he has the energy level. Pete Carroll. No one. Pete, even in his interview where he destroyed Seattle ownership, said, "Yeah, I'm not holding my breath for another job." By the way, Jerry Jones is not on right now because you are not going to hear from Jerry and Steven the rest of this football season. Their radio obligations expire when the season ends. Yes, they have come on in past years after their last loss, but they're not doing it this year. And the Cowboys told us that a couple of weeks ago. They would not be coming on after their final loss. They have done it weeks ago. They would not be coming on after their final loss. They have done it in the past, not doing it this year. That's the reason Jerry is not on right now. But yes.
No. Don't y'all be ducking down. Come on, Jones family, man. We hear from y'all when we don't want to hear from y'all. And now we want to hear from y'all the most. Y'all quiet over here. We in pain. We in turmoil. Man, we like the great divide, like the ice cream, by the way, which is really good. We split in half, right? There's people saying, Team Mike McCarthy, bring him back, keep him, And then there's a other side of people saying, hey, Dan Quinn, let's keep him. He's the man with the plan. He didn't sell us out. If anybody can, come on, Dan Quinn can. Come on, man. No, I need to hear. Come on, we need to hear these boys right here. Man, we them boys. Come on. We need to ask them, man, because, come on. We them boys. Come on. Come on, Jerry.
Ain't nobody calling me, texting me.
We calling you.
Asking me, are you still
the boys, Jerry? John Stephen Jones.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys?
Come on, why we got to go through all of this?
Listen. I'm still them boys.
Where you at, Jerry?
Oh, shut up, my boy. I'm still them boys.
Come on, Jerry.
Oh, I'm still them boys.
Right. I want my flowers while I'm living. You having an unnatural allegiance to losers does not like you.
I'm still.
Come on, Jerry.
I'm still them boys.
Jerry said, man, look, man, I gotta take this L different, Law, man. Come on, don't call me out, Law, before I get you banned. Man, come on, Law. I'm gonna start slowing down the internet again, come on.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Experience to me is a prerequisite.
So there are 14 head coaches.
For this situation.
There are 14 candidates who have coached,
14.
had a head coaching job
14.
in the last decade.
Write this
so you don't
down.
want to go back 20 years, but who have had a job in the last decade and who do not currently have a head coaching job in the NFL. There are 14 of those who have also been to a Super Bowl.
Oh.
And so the list of those guys right now, again, if you and it's 7 guys with offensive backgrounds, 7 guys with defensive backgrounds.
Now, before he go into this conversational piece, and this is all contingent upon whether or not they're going to keep Mike McCarthy. So let's play a little game. Let's play this little game, ladies and gentlemen.
Ernest Ellsbury Jr. $10.
Appreciate you, Ernest.
Hello, Law. We need someone that is going to bring leadership, discipline, structure, heart, and accountability to this team. I'm a die-hard fan from the late 60s in D.C. area. How about them Cowboys?
How about it, man? And praises and salute to you for being able to still be able to utter those words. How about them Cowboys? Because we looking for solutions, right? Michael Irvin, he said clean house, basically. And for those who don't know, this is what Michael Irvin said before we played his audio.
Watch. Every damn where, all across this country, all across the league, they stood up to defend their city.
Everywhere.
Defend their team, except in the city that deserved it the most. Except the team that's most recognizable and deserved it the most. What do you do when all you have don't understand what they have?
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers does not like you.
Before me, they built the Dallas Cowboys. They made this America's team. They put a championship on the table before I got here. My job while I was here is to match what they have done because they built it. They handed it to me. Put my damn championship on the table.
Get it, Mike.
That's all we ask. Put your damn championship on the table, and you couldn't do it. All their asses gotta.
Man, look at it. The spit. Thank you for tuning in to the Cowboys Film Session. As we take a deeper look at the playmaker, he is still in playmaking form. I wish somebody would have tried to push him in his back. Ooh, I wish. We're going to set that thing off. We were going to start playing Lil Boosie. We're going to set it off in his mug. You know what I'm saying? I wish. I know Sid the Entertainer, they said that he was taking people jokes or what have you. But I'm going to take this dude joke. He said that there's 2 different type of people on this planet, right? The I wish somebody is sitting in my seat. And there's some people that say, I hope nobody is sitting in my seat. I hope nobody getting in my seat. But man, there's something about this is your house. This is your home. I wish somebody was sitting in my seat. I wish. Because when you saying that, because that means that you have the ability to go 1,010% in on said person. But if when you have that docile mindset, that feeble mindset, you're saying to yourself, I hope nobody is in my parking spot. I hope nobody is in my seat. I hope. Nah, dog. We should have been like, I wish Green Bay would say that they wanted to receive the ball first. In my house, I wish that they try to take the ball first in my crib. Green Bay took that ball and went 70 yards. Danced in the end zone. Easy. We didn't have one person with the countenance on their face like this. Not one. For the full, how many hours? 3 hours? For 3 hours straight. They bust through our door. We asked them, can you please take your shoes off? They said nope. They sat down on our couch, put their feet on our sofa. Told our lady to go get them something to eat. And by the time she dropped the food down, they literally took their right hand up like this and slapped her on her backside and said, good job. And she said, ooh, before you play it, and walked off. In our faces. And they continue to eat. The total levels of disrespect. And we didn't have not one person to give us this energy. Even in a losing effort, right? We could at least had one person, Come on, man. At least somebody scuffle. I know we the most penalized team, but at least get a personal foul or something, slap a clipboard off a hand. Do something, man. After they done did that. And she said, boy, you playing. She sliding over to his house a little later on tonight. We didn't do none of that stuff. We didn't even pinch them. Let me get back over here.
Backgrounds. So I'm going to run down the list of names just really quickly without really stopping them. The defensive guys are Lovie Smith.
Oh, right.
Dan.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Somebody said, man, wait a minute. Law Ferguson did something now. Hey, Ferguson, hey. But it was already done by the time Ferguson said, hey, I didn't see it. But Ferguson did a little bit of something. Everybody else was like, hey, did he just walk into your house and slap your lady on her backside after she gave you, some coffee and some chips or what have you?
Quinn, John Fox, Jeff Fisher, Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, Ron Rivera. The offensive guys are John Gruden, Bruce Arians, Jim Caldwell, Gary Kubiak, Tom Coughlin, Ken Wisenhunt, and Jim Harbaugh. Now, if you're only going to take guys who actively appear like they're coaching right now, so you're not taking somebody who's been on the beach for forever, somebody who's either college or got some sort of an NFL coaching gig right now, it narrows even further. Those guys, the only guys left who have coached in the last decade at the NFL level, currently have a job either at college or pro level doing anything that relates to coaching and have been to a Super Bowl. It's only Dan Quinn, John Fox, Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, Ron Rivera, Ken Wisenhunt, and Jim Harbaugh. That's it. Those are the only names that you can come up with. Out of those
list of coaches, objectively speaking, ladies and gentlemen, out of those list of coaches, which one of those coaches will be better than Mike McCarthy? Let me see if I can rewind for y'all so y'all can get the list together. Out of those coaches, which one would be better than Mike McCarthy?
NFL level, currently have a job either at college or pro level doing anything that relates to coaching and have been to a Super Bowl. It's only Dan Quinn, John Fox, Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, Ron Rivera, Ken Wisenhunt, and Jim Harbaugh. That's it. Those are the.
Oh, that's it. Which one of those guys? Mike McCarthy. Pete, Bill, and Jim. Okay. Pete, Bill, and Jim. Pete. Okay, y'all be objective now. You know, which one would be better than Mike McCarthy? Ron Rivera, defensive coordinator, would be nice. That's a comment. Jim Harbaugh, that's from Cali Cowboy, because I don't want people to say, hey, man, Law saying Ron Rivera as a defensive coordinator. Jim Harbaugh. All right, so let's break this down from this perspective. Show of hands, who really like Mike McCarthy? Just put MM in the chat, right? So we can get that engagement going. If you team Mike McCarthy, put Mike McCarthy as the head coach. Could we sit back and give Mike McCarthy less duties and say, we don't like you calling plays. You seem vanilla. Can you just be the head coach? And we find an offensive coordinator? Keep this in mind. There's no salary cap as it relates to coaching. There's no salary cap. You can pick whoever you want. Jerry Jones, you know, there's...
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
There's no salary cap to that. Mike is nice, but not as an offensive coordinator. So, all right, and I'm going through, keeping the engagements, going over. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Can y'all do me a huge favor? For everyone that's watching right now, hit the like, share this content if you can. And let me know if we still live on Facebook. I haven't seen any Facebook comments come up. So let me know if we still lit over there, you know. Facebook, let me know if y'all still alive over here. And we going to get to everybody's super chats as well. Facebook, let me know if we still lit. Give me a thumbs up or something like that, or comment or something like that. But yeah, Bill is about 71, 72 years of age. Bill is long in the tooth. Yeah. All right. So before we play this one here, I want to say that he is Bobby Slowick is a guy that's from the Shanahan's tree, and that is something that we have to take in and under consideration there. But they were talking about guys who been into like the Super Bowl or what have you. So that's a whole nother conversation, and keep this in mind. We also have these little issues here. Okay, so we are live on Facebook. It just the comments not coming through. Okay, good. And then we'll get to everybody comment section. We'll get to everybody comments here. But here's the other coin to it. Bill Parcells, Jim Harbaugh, and let me see, who's the other guy? Bill Parcells, Jim Harbaugh, and who else? Who was the third guy? Not Ben Johnson, not Mike Tomlin. You know, I get y'all. You know, we talked, we went into details with that. All right, Harbaugh is interviewing with the Chargers. All right, the third person was Mike McCarthy. Out of those three, which culture do you want on this team? Do you want the Bill Parcells culture? Do you want to continue with the Mike McCarthy culture? Or do you want the Jim Harbaugh culture? Pete Carroll, that's what it is. Okay. Can y'all hear me now? Let me know if y'all good now as far as audio. All right. Let me know. The audio straight now? Which culture do you want to bring here in Cowboys land? Harbaugh, Bill, Pete Carroll. I think Pete Carroll shipped and sailed with him. I think that, he's Seattle guy. And I think Pete Carroll did a wonderful job there in Seattle land. Audio is fine. Okay, great. But Harbaugh. So how old is Jim Harbaugh? He ain't 70. I know he ain't 70. Well, he's in his 50s, right? Pete Carroll is energetic, but man, Jerry Jones family will drain you. Bill, we need discipline. Okay. All right, so here's the two folds. We know that if the Cowboys figure out a way to get Bill Parcells here, appreciate you, Charlie G. If the Cowboys end up getting Bill Belichick, my bad. If I'm saying Parcells, charge it to my head. If the Cowboys get Bill Belichick here, we do know that it's not a one-off. He's going to bring his team with him. He's going to probably convince Mike Vrabel to be his DC, right? He probably convince maybe Bobby Slowick to be his offensive coordinator, get him from the doggone Houston team. He probably can do those things, but he would probably bring his office with him. I don't think that Bill is going to come by himself or any of these guys, right? We need innovative. All right, so I'm looking at it from those aspects. Here's the positives of Jim Harbaugh. When the Cowboys picked up Jimmy Johnson not only was the coach that was innovative, motivated, play psychology with people, play reverse psychology with people, but he was already having his hands into the college rankings, right? So he knew all of the players that was going to come out too. So he had an extra leg up because he was dibbing and dabbling all in the college world, right? So even if you have Jim Harbaugh, he would know all of the next 4 to 5 years of college players coming out. You see? And Jimmy Johnson, I think that he's too old to be coaching Larry, but I feel what you're saying. Nick Saban's, he retired, right? And Nick Saban's on the pro level didn't look good when he was down at Miami. Futures Visions Entertainment says we don't need a new head coach. Yeah. Let's listen to the rest of these guys right here.
The only names that you can come up with. Out of those, I would assume nobody wants Ken Whisenhunt, who is the special teams coordinator at Alabama right now and is 62 years old, kind of far away from the NFL. Ron Rivera's not getting another job.
Hell no.
That's not happening.
No.
John Fox is currently he's a defensive assistant or a defensive analyst. Look, I will say this. They had a good relationship. The Joneses had a good relationship with John Fox. And he's done it. He's done it at 2 different stops. He's gotten them to Super Bowls.
Let's be fair. Manning got them to a Super Bowl in Denver, and so did Jake Delhomme in Carolina.
Yeah, well, I don't think Delhomme got them there.
Delhomme was the great Jake. Okay, he was amazing that year. There's so many horror stories coming out of Denver about him. Out on John Fox. Well, so many horror stories coming out of Denver about him.
Here's my storyline with John Fox. Who's old enough to remember that the Denver Broncos, they made it to the Super Bowl and they did something and they said, you know what, let's just get rid of the coaching. And they brought in John Fox. That's how he was able to win it, right? And I think that could be the situation with the Cowboys. Even I'm not Team John Fox, but I'm saying that maybe in a different version, 12-5, they look at this situation and said, okay, the reason why they hired Mike McCarthy is to get over the playoff hump, right, to get over the playoff hump. And we get to the playoff and we're not able or eligible to get over the playoff hump. So yeah. If you guys are having technical difficulties with the stream, go out and come back in, because I'm watching it on my phone device and it's clear, and I'm watching it from most people are saying that they are not having issues. So if you are having technical difficulties, all you have to do is go in and go out or log out and come back, and we still be having this party over here. Yeah. I don't think John Fox will cut it here, but what I'm saying is, all you have to do is use that same mindset of what the Denver Broncos did, right? They said, okay, let's just go ahead and bring in another coach, opposed to the coach that they had previously, right? All right, so appreciate everybody. Let's go to this right here.
Out on John Fox. Well, I'm in on all these guys because, a sixth coach is surely going to be the one that makes the difference with Dak.
Oh, my.
It's the sixth coach, guys. And maybe get him another wide receiver, too. And it's another offensive lineman.
Oh, my.
It's the sixth. This is the one.
Taking my silver spoon angle.
This
I like
is the
it.
one. This is surely the one.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You can only have one back. Money's not an option. Salaries, whatever. You could have McCarthy or Dak back next year.
Hey boy, that boy had to scratch his head and everything there. So, oh my gosh, what would y'all rather have? Yeah. What would y'all rather have? Dak or Mike McCarthy? Dak or Big Mike McCarthy? Man, appreciate you, Jamal. Thank you for jumping in. Let Pollard walk. I feel you. JD from DC. Hey, Law. If you don't fix your stream, pause. Wait a minute. I will raise my membership fee. Laugh out loud. DC for life, man. Hey, man. I think the stream is straight, man. I appreciate you for your support. A lot of people saying they would rather have four. They would rather have Dak back versus Mike McCarthy. Dak would be a better back. Look. Oh, my gosh, man. They're going to be one of my final segments right there with Dak Prescott. And then we're going to pull in some Stephen A. Smith audio with that. But I would say this, though. You got to roll with four to this degree right here. I'm definitely not finna cut my legs off from under me to see what's on the other side. I'm not finna just move on from $60 million, right? And unfortunately, the contracts say so. We at the mercy of the contract. He got no trade clause on his contract, and you can't put the franchise tag on him as well. Now, the craziest thing is you can look at this thing and say, okay, you can extend Dak for another 2 to 3 years, spread that money out, and then hope that he sit down with you to remove the trade clauses. But that's 9 times out of 10 is not going to happen, because you done already showed that you don't trust him 1,000%, so he don't trust you. You can offer him a situation to say, hey, what are we doing here, man? You got more money than you can count right now. You got unbelievable details as it relates to endorsement deals with Evermore Water, Hat Company, Sleep Number. Look, they're not going to give you all of that wherever you else go, And I'm not trying to count that man's off money, like his endorsement money. But are we trying to win a Super Bowl, or are we trying to be billionaires over here? And I know you want to be a billionaire, but you got your whole life to make money after this game. And you're going to have unbelievable chances and outcomes if you take this little, less money right here, so that we can do X, Y, and Z things. Now, I'm not being an advocate of that man taking the money, but that's where the Jones family is going to do. They're going to offer him that, and he's going to either accept it or he's going to reject it. It's the exact same thing that they did with Trayvon Diggs. They offered Trayvon Diggs less money. than the other DBs that's around the NFL that's doing those type of numbers. And Trayvon Diggs and his team said, you know what? We're going to take the less coins. But if Dak Prescott refuses to take the less coins and hold the feet to the fire of the Jones family and declare and demand unbelievable breaking of the banks, hey, that's just where he's going. You know, I can't control that, you know. But we would know everything about that down the line on what they're going to do with that. But the thing is, Dak Prescott got the team by the balls. And whenever he wants something, he can just do like this. He can just squeeze them. Because either they're going to cut it and they still got to pay him because the money is guaranteed $60 million, or they can extend him. So Dak, his team won. They destroyed the Jones family with that contract negotiation. Because he hold the high cards. He got the joker, deuce. He got all of the spades. Y'all know how that woman, if she ever gets you by the O's, boy, you done. And whenever what you want? Yup. That's just what it is. So it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I mean, Dak is the one that's gonna get them 12 wins, not Mike. But I mean, what are we trying for here? We trying for a Super Bowl? If we're trying for a Super Bowl, then you don't bring Dak.
If you're trying for a Super Bowl, you do bring Mike back.
Now you have, but your philosophy, your
philosophy,
and I have agreed with much of it. I've come to agree with much of it. Your philosophy is 12 wins. You got your job done. You got us in the tournament. We roll the dice. The tournament is a roll of the dice.
It is.
So how does that not apply here?
It applies. It applies. But we're also like, I mean, look, there's an obvious ceiling. There's an obvious ceiling. I like that, but there's an obvious ceiling there, and I could totally ride with them for the next 5-6 years, and continue down the same path. I absolutely could. But like, you ask yourself, would Kyle Shanahan keep him with the way things are now? Would Kyle Shanahan make him better? Sure. Let's say Kyle Shanahan's been here for years.
Well, I mean, what would Kyle Shanahan do if he moved on from him? Who's his backup plan? Trey Lance, the guy that he couldn't make work and moved on.
No. The backup plan would be.
Hey. And here's my thing with Trey Lance. Don't y'all sleep on Trey like that. Don't y'all do Trey like that. He didn't have the ultimate fair time at the 49ers land. And I'm telling y'all right now, I'm going to get in front of it right now. When y'all go out there to Oxnard for the 2024 year, you know those little challenges that they do when they throw the ball in the net? Watch 15. And you know what we talking about, scrambling and moving around and getting your guy out in space and being able. Look, I get it. And I'm not saying that Trey is better than Dak or Trey is better than Cooper Rush or what have you. But look, don't sully what Trey Lance. Look, this is you see, and this is what y'all do to me all the time, Cowboys, because y'all do that all the time. Around this time last year, or even the first few weeks of the season, if somebody said, hey, man, Jordan Love ain't nice, everybody would be like, yeah, man, Jordan Love trash. Jordan Love terrible. Now what Jordan Love look like? Now he's getting really good within the confines of that system and scheme. Jordan Love look good, don't it? Trey Lance and Jordan Love played the exact similar way. But that's a whole nother conversation, and I'm not saying that if we would have put Trey Lance in that game, we would have won or what have you. I'm not saying that either. But watch, just take my word for it. When training camp come around, Oxnard and beyond, y'all gonna be like, man, that number 15 right there, woo! He can make every throw off platform. He got a strong arm. Sit Indian style, that ball can go 70 yards. I ain't lying to y'all, man. I ain't lying to Luke Kane, y'all, and I'm not doing that. But y'all gonna see it. Y'all gonna see all of those reps, and y'all see it with y'all natural eyes. Y'all gonna be like, yeah, 15 doing it, you know. Somebody said a poor man's Jordan Love. I feel you. Who got a stronger arm, Trey Lance or Jordan Love?
We go to the draft. Yeah. But let's just say, like, Kyle's been here for the same amount of time, and this is where they've gone. Would he move on from Dak? Would Sean McVay have moved on from Dak? Would
Andy Reid?
Andy Reid. This is what is different about this with Alex Smith? What is different about this than Jared Goff? What is different about this than Jimmy Garoppolo? Now, Dak's better than Garoppolo.
Hell yeah.
He's not better than Goff.
Bull sugar. But I'm gonna say this though. You got one more year, man, with Dak. Unless, you know, and then he's sweet. He got about his agency got the Jones family by the short hairs, man. And that's just how it is.
Now, Dak's better than Garoppolo.
He's better than all of them.
He's not better than Goff. Nothing about Dak's career has shown that he's better than Goff.
Well, he's going to finish this. He had a better season than Goff this year.
Everything. Like, when you talk about your DVOA, per play efficiency, and everything else,
Goff's pretty good at DVOA.
I know, but if you look at all that, then when you say nothing about Dak has been better, that Dak has been better consistently throughout his career.
I mean, some of us would disagree.
That's just your data, Chop. That's not it. That's not a thing you can disagree. I'm just saying those numbers you can't.
Get him, Bobby.
Than Jared his entire career, and Jared's made it further consistently.
Rams team was pretty loaded.
It was pretty good.
Man, people, boy, look. I'm not taking a dump on Goff, right? Goff, I like Goff for what he is able to do, and I'm not finna take a dump on him. But until we see Goff in the doggone Kellen Moore system, look, we ain't arguing about the same thing, right? It's not apples to apples conversation. Goff been into a nice situation, and right now everybody on Cowboys land say, give us that dude Ben Johnson over there now, right? So you know, I get it though. I understand. Like Goff with Fisher, he didn't look that great too, you know. But coaching do matters, though. It do, right? Coaching do matters. But with the whole thing, Dak versus Goff or what have you, you know, his resume speaks for itself. And I get it. We talking about teams, whereas Goff made it to the Super Bowl. And then Goff have a chance, believe it or not, to go back to the Super Bowl this year. And the lesser of evils coming out of the NFC, I'm either team Detroit or team Buccaneers right now. I can't stand Green Bay nor the 49ers. So I can't stand none of those teams. So I don't want 49ers to be in the doggone Super Bowl. No, I'm telling the Twin maker right now, Twin, come on, man, there's an extra room on this couch. And yeah, buddy, hey, you know, don't let Green Bay winning. Ooh wee, you know, Twin is quiet. He's quieter than a church mouse over here. He haven't texted me. He haven't hit me up about the game. That Green Bay, and they had a whole week off. Shoot, Green Bay is rolling on some high momentum right now. And they know each other. LaFleur knows Shanahan. So, ooh, and football is a strange lady. Don't let Green Bay dot up the Niners. I've seen the Browns beat the Niners, you know. I've seen the Vikings beat the Niners. Okay.
It was pretty good.
Is this Dak MVP result going to be the highest that either of them have finished?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have to go back and
probably. I don't think Goff ever finished in the top three. So, I mean, Dak will finish in the top. I think bottom is third.
Yeah, I think at worst he's third. Well, I mean, I guess unless Purdy's at it, he could be fourth because Josh could be ahead.
Now, we'll keep the Dak thing separate.
So, but it does when you look at that, when you see clearly how so few names are left. Because if you're not going to consider John Fox, and I would guess you're not going to consider Ken Wisenhunt,
no.
Literally the only names left that check all those boxes are Harbaugh, Carroll, Belichick, and Dan Quinn. So should you?
I'm out on Dan Quinn, man. Dan Quinn is 0-6 versus the whole Shanahan clan. You know what I'm saying? So I'm out on that. I got 1 foot in, 1 foot out on Bill Belichick. The only reason why I admire Bill Belichick is the things that we know for sure we're going to be great at. And that is football fundamentals. Sam Williams had over 6 penalties this year. I think majority of them came on special teams. And he cost us tons of points. Discipline. We played in majority of our games hero ball on all of our losses. We abandoned foresight. Discipline. Discipline. We got linebackers who are afraid to shoot gaps and hit something, man. You won't have that in a Bill Belichick scheme, system, or principles. You will not have that in a Bill Belichick's situation. Did y'all see there's multiple documentaries out there, multiple, not a few, where Bill Belichick will call Tommy Brady in the doggone room. What's his name? Thomas Edward Brady. And drill him. And drill him. For those who are out there who think that Law Nation is giving Dak Prescott all of the apologies, like I'm a Dak Prescott apologist, I always said from day one, Rain Dakota Prescott needs stern, hard coaching. I wish I could just find one clip in his 8th year being here that he's been drilled, where spit is coming out of somebody's mouth saying you don't go there with that ball, you do not take it there with that read. Hey, I get it, I called the dumb play, but you got to match me and take it and tuck it and run it yourself. I need for that type of coaching to be there. I heard from a small bird that told me that John Kitna was that dude. And they said, you know what, we can't have that here. We're going to let you roll. But I guarantee you, Jason Garrett wasn't giving him that. Scott Lanahan, Parahan, Callahan, whatever his name was, he wasn't giving that to him. And we all know that Kelly Moore wasn't doing that. Kelly Moore wasn't doing that. Kelly Moore probably don't give his kids whooping. Go sit in the corner. Go to timeout for 15 minutes. He probably don't yell at his kids. Not saying that you gotta yell at your kids and spat a rod. You know, Dez did it. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, shout out to Dez Bryant though. Bill Belichick will get him right. Bill Belichick will walk in and put all of those rings on the table. He will walk in, and even though, and Tom Brady got 7 rings, but that's a whole nother story on how Tom got those 7 rings. But if you just split those 7 rings, you would say out of majority of those rings, what we gonna say? Defense do what? What do defense do? And name me the time that Tom Brady, it was like only what? 2 Super Bowls that he had his offense just humming. They had to do something. I think in that Atlanta game, Super Bowl, that was like his 4th or 5th Super Bowl at that time. 28-3, he had to really stand tall in the moments and showcase his offensive situation there. One Super Bowl, hell, they only 13-3 or some 13-9 or something like that against the LA Rams team. Defense win championships, bro. Y'all can argue me all left and right. Y'all can talk about X, Y, and Z things. But there would be no 3. It would be no. We got 5 rings here. I would say out of the 5, there would probably be We probably only had one ring team if that defense wasn't there. Collectively, we've been to 8 Super Bowls. Defense win championships, though. I can guarantee you those 3 Super Bowls that we won in the 90s, if that defense wasn't there, shoot. Emmett who? Troy who? Shoot. Defense head Atlanta, and yeah, Showtime Sports Media. But I think Tom, he still threw for like 300-400 yards in that game, though. Tom had to give you some offense in that one, though. Facts Law, Lions beat the Rams because of defense, 24-23. Yep, and then with that score right there, G, who's getting all of the credit? Golf, right? They ain't gonna say, look. They ain't gonna say, hey, that defense was stood tall in that game. No, they gonna give Golf. Hey, Golf won that playoff game. It goes down as a playoff win for him. Jimmy Garoppolo in the last 10 years got more playoff wins than anybody in the NFC. Even though he's on the AFC now, But that defense, Bill will bring some linebackers. Yeah. That would be the least of our worries. Linebackers and Bill Parcells' specialty, not Parcells, keep calling Parcells. Bill Belichick's specialty is also special teams. Every year, hands down. Bill Parcells. Can I just say Bill Parcells is Bill Belichick's same person? God dog. I'm going to just say Bill. Bill's specialty is special teams, too. Hey, man, them names.
Be so quick to dismiss when we've talked about, because I feel like we've all kind of gotten the sense, and maybe all feel like, well, you can't give Dan Quinn the job at this point after that. And he was part of overseeing a defense that didn't look ready to play, kind of looked like they quit, didn't know what they were doing. But should you be so quick to walk away from him when your resume standards may be so narrow, and he's one of the few that can do it, and he's shown that he's respected here?
They have to figure out a way to quietly talk to the others. They have to talk to Bill. They have to talk to Jim. They got to do it quietly to not undercut Mike. It'll probably get found out, but you got to do your due diligence, and you got to figure out if it would be a fit. What would happen control-wise, personnel-wise? Who could work with who? Who would be pissed off in Frisco? You got to figure that out to see if it would click.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
We don't care about nobody's feelings. We don't care about your feelings. We try to win. Look, tiptoeing around. Look, you bring them in for an interview. Hey, everybody's job. Look, as the general manager, he should give his speech and say to all of the staffs, everybody on the staff, my job is to replace you. Your job is to make me think otherwise. That's just how it is. It's 365 player evaluation. My NUTs is on the line. We don't have that structure here, right? We can't appease that dude. Hey, 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. Yeah, that's cool. That's good stuff. But my job is to replace you. If not, my boss is going to replace me. Oops. When you are the owner and the general manager, you don't have that weight. Right? So that's just what it is. There's sales reps all throughout the state of Texas, all throughout the state of Mississippi and Louisiana, and they got a quota to hit. I remember when I was going door to door, floor to floor. And, if I didn't hit that quota, they'd bring you into that office and say, hey, there's a PIP right there, performance improvement plan. And I said, hey, man, I hit the quota for four months straight. But what you're forecasting now? Because we need ink on paper. Can you get these deals done? If not, I got to put you on this PIP. They'll praise you. They'll praise you when you're getting them sales, high five you. Yee! Woo! You hit the quota. I'll never do a sales job again, y'all. But those are the realities. There's people right now watching this video that's living by a quota. Sweat dripping down their face and back. They got to hit that quota. By all means necessary. If not, you're a hero one week, a zero the next. And for those who in a sales job, you know, this is a sales job. This is the ultimate sales job. You are the face of the America's team. You're the face of all of the pundits, the critics, and everything else. So if you get out there and if you can't get the thing delivered, somebody else gonna fill that seat and fill those doggone quota requests. Yeah, BB13. Yeah. And we used to hit a building, every door, every floor. Used to man the territory. Somebody else is in your territory. Oh, hold on. No. They ain't finna be selling in my territory. I go over there, you had to smooze, you had to do a whole bunch of stuff. It's a dog-eat-dog world. You had to go in there. Sometimes you had to shake hands with the right people. Yeah, the name of the company I work for, Pitney Bowes. Multi-billion-dollar industry. Look up Pitney Bowes. Had a great 401k plan and everything else. Paid good money. But that quota was the quota. Nice office, nice furniture. Salute to Pitney Bowes, though. We learned some great stuff from them. That everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. What do you have on your forecast sheet? When do you expect to close on this deal? And then you had to learn that some people getting past the gatekeeper, once you get to a certain level, it was easy. But you got to deal with the person that can get that ink on paper, that can make the final decision. You could be talking all you want. You can have a 3-piece suit on. You can have a nice car allowances and everything. But if you can't close that deal, things are going to be taken away from you. Company car gone. Hey, employee of the month, that parking spot gone. And the manager come in there and say, hey, I love all of y'all. I know kids got to have Christmas stuff. Mama got to have shoes and all of this stuff. But my job is to replace you. Because if I don't, they replace me. And I'm a bottom line person. I love my nice things. But I was sick, man, for 3 weeks. Well, hey, that's how the cookie crumble. Hey, man, my car, man. Hey. Transmission fluid leaked out. Hey, those sound like excuses.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Somebody stole my territory. Hey. I got pulled over because I'm, hey. Those excuses, y'all. And that's life. There's people right now dealing with that. And they ain't getting paid millions of dollars.
I have to speak with them. I have to.
One of the things that I think is really interesting, though, if you look at, because there's a sense, I think, from a lot of people that the only thing that's really showing to be sustained success over the last decade or so are these coaches that are coming off.
And that was the end of that. Shout out to my guy Andre, man, who did a great job. Who did a great job at all of this.
Jerry Jones can make more money than anybody in this entire business. All right, he's a master at it. He can't win playoff games. He can't advance. It's been almost a 30-year drought now. And so Michael Irvin's out there on his porch saying, blow it all up. Now, I don't know what you do, but I got to believe that you can't stay the course and go, let's come back. Because every Cowboy, even the most staunch, diehard Cowboy fans, you can come back next week, next year. You come back with
maybe upgrade a certain position here or there through the draft, free agency, whatever. Every single Cowboy fan is going to say the same thing. And every Cowboy hater is going to say the same thing. You say, like the memes on social media right now, even the Cowboy, even football fans that aren't football fans are putting stuff out there.
Yeah.
Like, you can't bring it back. You have to make a change.
All right, so gotta make a change. You can't. That sales rep somewhere sweating somewhere in Mississippi, 82 counters, man. I had a 3-piece suit on. That was a requirement, and some doors you walk in, and it was like, hey, we don't like you around here. Get on out of here, scram, skit. I'm like, hey, man, I'm servicing one of your accounts, I'm servicing one of your accounts. You have a Pitney Bowes machine in there, do you? Yes. But, hey, I told y'all, get on out here. Stop all of that solicitations, And I'm just like, hey, I get it, man. my name is Lawrence. I gave him my whole name. My name is Lawrence. I got to service one of those machines there. It's due for an upgrade. I don't care for doggone. And then those are excuses. So I had to go back to the office, get Bobby, and come Bobby with me. Bobby, go in there, and you got to go in there and get past him and let them know that it's time for an upgrade. And I slide you $20. We go in. Bobby goes past him. He let Bobby in. They service the machine. They come out. He come out with the paper, with the ink on paper. I said, here, Bobby, here's $20. He was one of the techs for Pitney Bowes. I could have easily said, hey, man, that dude racial, man. That dude won't let me in because I'm black, man. Hey, man, this world is bad, man. I went to Jackson State, man. I shouldn't be on this type of job, man. No. That's getting it out of the mud, man. That's going beyond the extra mile. Every door, every floor. That's an account. That's my account. And then it's always, after the sale, you got to go back and make sure you touch them again, Hi, this is Lawrence. I really appreciate you for allowing me to serve you at your company. We look forward to working together in the future. Here's a set of pens from Osage, North America, Pitney Bowes. Gave that man a whole set of pens, calendars, and everything. But that's just how it is, ladies and gentlemen. You got to do what is necessary. But there are a lot of people right now that would have not thought outside the box and gave up and said, I quit. But if you don't like your circumstances where you at, you thought Law was still going to be working that job when he got into his 30s? No, I already had a plan of action. I was like, man, I'm going to have to go get me a nice job, man. That's salary based only. Forget all of that. I got to get out of sales. Hey, every day I was sitting there saying, my determination is to keep applying. We like to inform you. We regret to inform you that you overqualified for this job. I got more overqualified. So look, let me dim my light just a little bit so that I can get in. And once I dim my light just a little bit, and I'm in, once you're in, you're in. Then you go into the HR department, and then you update everything else. Hey, you in? Did you update it? I updated. Hey, this is the degree that I have, business administration, concentration in economics. Graduated with this GPA. Oh, you qualify for this job. Bam. But I had to lower myself to get in. Unfortunately, that's just how the game you got to play. That's how the reality of the world is, ladies and gentlemen. They ain't be doing all that marching. No, man, free at last. Oh, no, man, no, I'm going to go somewhere else and figure it out. Get in. That's a whole nother subject line. We're going to talk about the charade thing with my guy. I put out here, Cowboys upon analyzing the All-22, it pains me to admit I genuinely feel Coach Dan Quinn betrayed our trust. He did. He wasn't thinking about the Cowboys' best interests. He had to not be thinking about, look how wide open that guy is right there. Auntie can catch this ball right here. Sean B2A that's in the check can catch that. Elite Rob, man, come on, man. You can catch that pass right there. You won't let me down. Warren Duncan, man, look, I know you can catch that right there, bro. Who else? Young Mark, man, I know for sure, man. We've been the top 3 team, not 1, not 2, but top 3 team in pass defense. In some categories, we the number 1 team in the league. Number 1 in the league on pass defense. Number 1. Now, I get it. If it's a one-off, I get it. Blown coverages, that happens sometimes. Yes, indeed. You get blown sometimes. You know, you get blown off sometimes. That's just how it is. Call it lucky, call it whatever it is. But how come it happened multiple times, man? Come on. Somebody, auntie right here catches Keith Johnson. Keith Lee doing the reviews can review this, you know. I was open. I played against the Dallas Cowboys. Just as my thoughts. You know, he can do this. Not at all, Crib. Man, Dan Quinn had to have this on his prize picks, man. How you give, like, I would understand if it happened one time, y'all. I would understand. I would say, yeah, you know, granted, that's life. You're going to get hit up sometimes. And then there are things that you can't control. But come on, man. You can't tell me that a man getting paid millions of dollars, millions, allow this to happen. And y'all can't tell me y'all's Ray Charles to this right here. All year long, we've been talking about linebackers play. I did the full film assessments on this already. You can't tell me that this is what we wanted. This would be the team to lift up that Lombardi trophy. That we're going to mask this through. I mean, we got basketball players playing football. That man, 14 doing Euro steps, man. 33, hey, man, I've never seen somebody. Baseline. You know, he get to the baseline real quick. Euro stepping, man. Come on, man. And I'm not trying to beat up our team, baby. But we don't deserve this as Cowboys fans. We don't deserve this. This is America's team. One of the plays, Smooth said, you know what? I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Gun line, boss. He said, all right, I'm going this way. I'm quite sure 187 is in the chat. He's sitting there like, man, ain't no way they gonna do this on my Niners, man. But with that whole 33 saw right there, and everybody, let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. 187 is in the chat, says, shoot, I can run on the Cowboys, get one tub. Unlucky, the crucial interception. The interception is just as bad too. The interception just as bad too. Shout out to Kurt Warner. He broke that down like a fraction. I would give them the first, the one that my guy, you know, I'm a DB to the heart, Zaire Alexander. Zaire Alexander just mauled my guy Brandon Cooks on that route. Whew. That dude just jumped right through there. That looked just like the 2021 Cowboys versus the 49ers. Dak Prescott going to Cedric Wilson. The exact same spot, the exact same play. Well, not the exact same play, but the exact same location of the INT. And I'm sitting here like speechless. Like, why would you go there? Why would you even entertain Zaire Alexander? If I seen Alexander, that you might as well call him the Great. If it's not CD or Ferg, I'm not finna tempt with that, And I get it, he's pressing. But Dak do not get an escape situation with that. He don't. I get it. Most people going to be 50-50 with that, but he do not get no bailout packages from Law on that one. I'd rather for him to eat the sack, throw it away out of bounds, do whatever you need to do when you're on your side of the 50. But when you get to the other side of the 50, at least, man, you got to know you got a football guy that can kick from the start. And they didn't even trust him. That's why I'm looking at the game differently now. I'm sitting there like, dude, we punted when we got close to the start. We could have just kicked the field goal there, get something. My thing is, this is why I put it on culture. Not only do we have individuals playing terrible, we had the whole entire team playing terrible. Defense, terrible. Special teams, terrible. Offense, terrible. Coaching decisions, terrible. At that point, you would think that Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn got on the elevator. One of them fought it, and nobody wanted to own up to it. Somebody came in, and now they mad at each other. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Everything and anything that we had issues with, it magnified in that game. Dan Quinn had 5 interviews set up by the kickoff time of our game. Whoa, Roy, yeah. That's why I hate that ruling. I hate that rule right there.
Not the one who made the rules, right? Do it left, do it right, do it left, do it right.
Now, I'll be crazy if I'm not going to just fall on this and say that that's my thoughts of beating up Dan Quinn. But when you have Louis Reddick, who's a guy who played the sport, who watches the sport, he says, how many junior high-level defensive mistakes were made yesterday by the Dallas? And y'all can read the rest of it. I'm sitting here looking at the all 22. I'm looking for one yank. Second cousin, Thomas. Shout out to all of the Thomases. I'm looking for one yank to get out there. And we never even seen him. Ain't no way you don't at least look into the heart and soul of the eyes of the people that's out there on the field and say, hey man, this there's no more tomorrow. There's no more, hey, we're gonna work on this and look at tape and review this. We were detached the entire game. The entire game. Even the kicker looked shook. Whatever voodoo magic that was out there at Arlington, I need some of that, to sprinkle upon my oppositions before battle. That's why, look, everything in my mind tells me hey, man, you know, I get it. Sometimes people just crumbles in those moments because of the day that it was a line. But cheer up. It's going to be better the next time. And the hardest thing, because I really give people 5th and 6th chances. Because I know the Creator gave me 5th and 6th chances. Technically, I'm on my 99th chance in time right here. But when someone show you who they are the first time, believe them. Write that down. And as an Aquarius, or as a person that's born in February, I'm born with unbelievable passion. Some of the greatest people of all time born in February, in the month of February, you know, Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just a whole nother story, you know what I'm saying? But we passionate people. We're very passionate. Giving. But y'all, yeah, Chris 214, believe them. When they show you who they are, believe them. When you see that snake sheds its skin, it's not doing that to get smaller. That snake is just doing it to get bigger. A snake gonna always be the snake. Some things are gonna always be for what they are. You reach in there wrong, it'll bite you. True story. There was this woman who had this pet snake, and it would curl up beside her every night, and she was wondering why the snake stopped eating. So she took the snake to the vet, and the vet says, "What's going on?" She said, "My snake, my pet snake, at night, all it does is curl up beside me. Snake no longer eats, no matter what I do." And he says, "Ma'am, how long you had this snake?" She said she had it since he was tiny, but now he became massive. And he said, "Ma'am, that snake, nothing wrong with that snake. The reason why it's curling up beside you is because you are the entree. You are the dinner. The snake is sizing you up." How many people out here trying to get close to you, to just eat you up, to take what you've done with your great name and your great services? Some people are just getting close to you because they're trying to size you up. They say that they're your friends, but they're not. They say they're cool with you. But the moment you get into the biggest and the brightest of the stage, here they go. Shanking you in the back. Here they go. Switching up on you. "Oh, man, I thought they changed. They shed their skin." No, they're just becoming a bigger issue than what they were before. In the words of TD Jakes, have you been swallowed? They try to swallow you, man. You know, Dan Quinn swallowed us, man. Pause. Oh, like that team, that wasn't the same team. Granted, I get it what the offense did. They're gonna be my new. I'm gonna find that drop. Have you been swallowed?
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers does not like you.
Jeez. Yes, indeed. Hey, shout out to the Jakes family and everybody else, man. You know, but that's just what it is. Swallowed up. Oh my God, man.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Allegedly. Alleged. Everything is alleged, man. I don't have that Tasha K money. Don't y'all come after me, man. You know, I don't have that Tasha K money, man. No. But there's nobody on this side of the world, man, saw 48 points by the opposing team at our crib. Ain't nobody, man. Oh, my gosh, man. Oh, my goodness. The boy said power bottom, man. I'm done with y'all, man.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Oh, my gosh, man. And it's 2:15. How long I been live over here? I said, how long I been lying? Oops, I've been lying to y'all, huh? How long I been live?
A standard? What would you know about the standard? You haven't lived up to the standard that was once set decades before you. Dallas Cowboys were winning Super Bowls in the 90s when Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, and Emmitt Smith was there. And ultimately, primetime Deion Sanders came.
Let me give y'all the backdrop. This is Stephen A. Smith. And I normally don't give that man any shine, but I want to rebuttal what he's saying.
There does come a point in time where Dak Prescott needs to shut the hell up. A standard? What would you know about the standard? You haven't lived up to the standard that was once set decades before you. Dallas Cowboys were winning Super Bowls in the 90s when Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, and Emmitt Smith was there. And ultimately, primetime Deion Sanders came there. The Dallas Cowboys were winning in the 70s when you had Roger Staubach there. Okay? Roger. With the Drew Pearsons of the world, with the Tony Dorsetts of the world. They were winning. What would you know about that? If you are a Dallas Cowboy since 1996, you wouldn't know anything about that. If anything, all you know is that historically there was a standard that you have failed to live up to in your entire career in a Dallas Cowboys uniform. And I say that respectfully, and here's the reason why. It comes a point in time.
You could not live with your own failure.
I get it. Hear ye, hear ye. Swing doors goes both ways, in and out. I'm all in with my Cowboys. I'm all in with the leader of this team. And we can all ask this right here.
What more do you want from me?
From Dak Prescott, we would all declare and want more. But there will forever be a great divide with the Cowboys nation. There's going to be a split down the middle. Every comment that's in my box, there's going to be, hey man, Tony Romo. There's people still to this day will talk about Tony Romo as the quarterback here. There's going to be still people talk about the Dak situation, and those two will be forever joined at the hip. Dak Prescott is a very, very, very much so great guy for this team. And has he been hosed by the situation? Yes. You will be blind to the fact if you say otherwise. You will be a fool to think that, man, for 13 seasons collectively, Jason Garrett could have been that coach to lift up that Lombardi trophy for this team. It wouldn't have happened, y'all. There would have been somewhere where the knowledge base would have just collapsed upon. That's life. There is always a ceiling. And regardless of how y'all feeling, those are the realities of it. So, when the water comes to a boil, there's two things you can do. You can let it overfill and flow out, or you can turn the temperature down and let that simmer into your mindset. The Dallas Cowboys at this point, I'm not listening to the 4-ladder to 3-ladder networks. They don't have our interests at best, unfortunately. But they do have unbelievable influences and power beyond. I'm going to tell y'all right now, you cannot remove $60 million off this team and they have the levels of expectations to still win. This is a situation, unfortunately, that either you're going to play it out for the 2024 year and just say, hey, let's just see what can happen, or you can do the extension. But I refuse to see this team eat upon $60 million on a quarterback that can win you at least, at minimum, 10 games. At average, he's winning you 10 games. But how about this? You can concede to the fact that you know that his weakness are in these pivotal moments, in these treacherous situations. Why not for the 2024 year? Why not? With the resources that you do have, continue to add pieces and let that just simmer down. I'm old enough to remember John Elway winning 2 rings on his way out. And we are not even at that point of Dak Prescott's career. But I can tell y'all this, all that's watching, we didn't definitely have a Terrell Davis on this team. I can tell y'all this right now. We for sure didn't have that kind of caliber of defense that they had. And I'm not saying that Dak Prescott is John Elway. That's 2 different situations. But what I'm saying to y'all, ladies and gentlemen, don't spoil what you have by desiring the things that you don't. Because at one point in time, that very much so, the thing that you do have is something that you dream for and wish for. So the Cowboys at this point, if they really want to take this situation up to another level, stop depending on one sole individual. Figure out a way to bring in somebody with a kind of caliber of mindset to make this as a team situation. I digress. Let's listen to the rest of this.
We all know that Dak Prescott is an incredible role model, is a really, really good guy, really decent guy. He's class personified. We know all these things. We say all of these things. But have you noticed that most analysts have gotten to a point where we preface anything we say about him by bringing that up? The time has come to stop all of this. Sure. We're talking football. We're not talking anything else. We're not talking about your character. We're not talking about you as a man. We're not talking about how good of a person you are. We're talking about the fact that come the month of January, you plummet. You have a winning record in every single month but January. That is not an accident. That is not an accident. There does come a point in time where Dak Prescott needs to shut the hell up.
That's Stephen A. Smith. That's Stephen A. Smith. 2 things can be true. Two things can be true. But it's up to law to bring you guys the perspectives. It's up to me to do that. And for those who would say, hey, man, these are excuses, but these are also context and facts that they are not up for debate. And you can try to, in your small mind, to try to debate this, but these are not debatable situations. When they say the levels of expectations when it meets the reality is this right here, ladies and gentlemen. Matter of fact, let me put my little background music back on because I'm grooving with that. Come on, go to my safe room. Come on, pull it back up. So we supposed to win multiple playoff games with Jason Garrett? Get beyond the NFC championship game, go to the Super Bowl with Jason Garrett? Name me the team that Jason Garrett took there. I'll wait. Name me the team that Scott Linehan took there. The greatness of Kellen Moore. was he able to take that team to even the playoffs? And I know Herb got hurt, but Herb was looking like Dak Prescott before he got hurt. What happened there? And to put the icing over the cake, and I'm glad, hold on, before I put that icing over the cake, Your Majesty said Dez Bryant caught it. You see, people fail to realize and to use this right here, and I'm not talking about you, Your Majesty. Who was the OPY for that year? Who was the Offensive Player of the Year in 2014? Who was the Offensive Player of the Year for 2014? Dez did caught it though, you know. Who was the Offensive Player of the Year in 2014, on that magical year that we were trying to circle back to get to? DeMarco Murray had 1,800 yards. In 2014, my guy Tony Romo had threw for 300 yards one time that entire season. The formula was not make Tony Romo be end all everything. Don't let him be that. Utilize a full team. Our only Achilles heel in that particular year was we couldn't generate turnovers and pass rush. We got rid of DeMarcus Ware. Dog it, if we had DeMarcus Ware in 2014, maybe we could got to Aaron Rodgers. The man had one leg. One leg. It takes a complete team. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. We talk about the Dez catch, no catch situation. It was still about 3 minutes left on the clock. Close to 4. What you think Aaron Rodgers would have done in all of that time? So, going back to my final point, with Mike McCarthy being here on this beloved team, how many years removed is 2010 to now? It's 2024. How many years? How many years has that been? How many years? Because the last time I checked, Mike McCarthy won the Super Bowl in 2009 and 2010. How many years has that been? 14 years. Come on, y'all help my math out. So the levels of expectations for Mike McCarthy to get here, to do something that he haven't done in 14 years, basically, or in 10 years, basically. That's a decade, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to remove the 4. And for everybody and anyone that's listening, hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. I bet you, everybody that's in this chat that's watching and listening, y'all will give a spleen away to have Aaron Rodgers here. The prime Aaron Rodgers. So if he couldn't do it with that particular teams and those particular teams, what make you think that Aaron Rodgers, coach Mike McCarthy, would come here to erase and eradicate all of the foolish stuff that was going on here to improve what we seen? Huh? Let me know. And especially he got to tiptoe around Jerry Wayne Jones. So come on, man. Football is a cycling sport. And yes, with verifiable data, we can all say these things right here. Mike McCarthy is for dog sure better than Jason Garrett. His resume speaks for itself, actually. So what y'all expecting the Cowboys to do is to overcome something that even Aaron Rodgers couldn't overcome. at his stay with Mike McCarthy. And those not up for debate. So what the Cowboys going to have to do at this point, rip the Band-Aid off. Either they going to run this back for one more year. Either they going to extend Dak Prescott for 3 to 4 years, spread that money out. But the choice is theirs. It's not ours. And if I'm a betting man, I said all of this to say that Jerry Jones is sitting back rubbing his chin and said, well, damn, I'm not finna be wrong. I have unbelievable faith in Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott. They're going to run it back. And whoever our new defensive coordinator would be, whether they can smooth some stuff over to get Mike verbal here, that'd probably be the better choice right now. Unless Jerry Jones is willing to eat the rest of the money, because they're coming straight out of his pocket as far as coaching on his contract, and bring in someone else new. That's the reality of it. We're going to open up the phone lines for at least to 3 o'clock, but I wanted to tell you guys that's the situation there. That's what they're going to have to do. I think that Dan Quinn is out. And then knowing the Cowboys, they like to hire from within. So they're going to probably have Joe Witt Jr. as our coach or Al Harris as our coach if they don't go from the outside. That's just how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it is, baby. That's how it is. Fortunately.
Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life.
That's how it is.
Super thug my way on this side. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down
657-390-7391 is the hotline for your mind. Brought to you by Prize Picks.
There are 5 participants in the conference.
Heard you call him bluffs, I show him, prove it is for real. Son of God, not a son of Sam. Keep it off the books and keep it coming in.
Come on.
It's the old whip, see what I'm coming in. The inside caramel just like 100.
Got Chris 214. You're live on the Nation. Brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to me.
What's up, Law? How's it going?
Going well, man. Talk to me. What you got?
Hey, Law, so is it a possible way, knowing who we got to sign, Lamb, got Micah, if, let's just say if they don't do anything with that, we run it back, we lose in the playoff again, is that a possible way that we can still sign everybody and don't try to even extend him? Not saying that I want that going. Like, I'm just trying to look at
right. You're looking at it from on an objective standpoint from both sides of the coin there, right? And I'm quite sure that they are looking at it from that aspect too. And they're looking at it like, hey, either if we extend Dak Prescott, we'll be able to have more money to just throw at Parsons, throw at CeeDee Lamb, right? Or if they don't extend him, keep this in mind, the salary cap is going to increase about $40 to maybe $50 million itself. So it may cover itself, and then you just say, hey, we just have to dab around, pray that this free agency, we get some guys that can come in. Keep this in mind. You're going to have to pay Tony Pollard too, because he's not, free. He's free at this point, I meant to say. So you're going to have to figure out where your running back is going to be, who your wide receiver is going to be, and these sorts of things. So the Cowboys are going to have to figure those things out too. And I'm quite sure there's a big hit on Gallup's contract as well coming around. So the Cowboys are going to have to work that out for sure.
Right. Right, man. And I honestly Like, I feel like it's so crazy how one game, it's a very important game,
right?
But one game can just flip the whole script just like that.
Trust, man. Gary Kubiak, I think that was his name earlier, right? He took the Denver Broncos all the way to the Super Bowl, right? And they said, I don't know if it was because of health, because he had that heart thing, I believe. But I don't know if it was because of that, but they brought in a whole different coach to take care of that team, and they ultimately won the Super Bowl. So it could be something similar like that. One game. Trust, Chris, takes 1,000 years to build, 1 second to lose.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Well, hey, Law, I'm gonna let you get in with these other callers, man. I'm gonna keep watching, but hey, I hope you have a good day and
go Cowboys, man. Appreciate it. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, man. Good call from you. That's Chris 214. Look, man, I get it, y'all. You know, that's the price of doing business on the business side of it. It's sloppy. It's nasty. You know, it's a fickle or crazy cycling. And it takes 1,000 years to build trust, 1 second to lose it. Ain't that right, Fargo? Ain't that right, Stargazer? You know, all it takes is that 1 second. We gonna get some people in here. 229. What's on your mind? You're live on the Nation. Brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix.
Law.
What's good?
Man, I want to say I think we had a good season overall.
Overall, we did. Yep.
I think we did. It's a positive outcomes, that we can look at, but we definitely need to get Dak some help with running backs, linebackers, and I mean that's what I saw. And Dak is just pull them and put somebody in, put Rush in, Cooper Rush. I think that's
you remember my analogy with the car and the donut tires, you know, the donut tire. Yeah. That's exactly what we did. We rolled out there with the nice car, fresh paint job, everything, new engine and everything. But what we didn't do is the small things. We roll out there with some 20-inch rims, but with 2 donuts on it, you know, and the donuts was number 14 and 33. The Cowboys made no advancements or no plans of action to go out there and just say, hey, man, these are donuts, these are spares. Let me go into the markets and get it a known commodity, man. They didn't do that on defense. And then on offense, Dak Prescott, he's supposed to be able to keep the team afloat, which we can argue and say, he tried to do what he could do, but he also wet the bed with the pick 6 and the INT on our side of the field. And that right there is hard. It's hard because most people, I've seen my guy Okoye break it down. I've seen Kurt Warner breaks it down. But the average football knowledge is not that vast. You think Joe, who's in cubicle 8, is going to look at film and break that down? No, it's quicker for them to be trolls. It's quicker for them to say, hey, that dude chokes in the biggest and the brightest moments. And those are the results. I don't care what else is there. So that's just how it goes. So we got to understand that side of it.
Yeah. But, it's still go Cowboys. I'm hurt right now. But
I know we hurt, man, but it's what it is.
Cowboys.
Appreciate you for the 229. No doubt, man. Good call from him. But I hope that you guys get that. Takes 1,000 years to build trust, 1 second to lose it. You know? Ain't that right, George Bailey? You can have his Swedes. She can be the prettiest thing in the world. Cook, clean, smell like onion rings, right? Can be doing all of that stuff, vacuum the floors and everything. But if you fool around and invite someone over your house, right? And all of a sudden you walk in and she's sitting on dude's lap, all of that stuff that she did for you, you throwing that out the window. You sitting there saying, why is she in smooth lap? Right. So that's just how it is. And he said, man, I trust her, man. She was cooking eggs and everything, bacon. She even make my toes curl at night. But man, God dog, I come home early and she's sitting in this dude's lap. All of that trust is out the window. Shoot. All right, I got for the 254, man. You live, Bill. Talk to me.
I think we really need to get, a running back out of the draft like Ollie Gordon or the guy from Kansas State. You know what I'm saying? Because Tony Pollard I don't even think he hit 1,000 yards this year.
He hit one. He hit one. It was a struggle 1,000, but he hit that thou wow. He did. He did.
Mean, it was a rough one. You know what I'm saying? He didn't nowhere near average what he was last year. I know he was coming off an injury, but I mean, you can't just pay a guy all kinds of money because he's playing on the franchise tag this year. You can't just pay him all kinds of money thinking that something's going to change next year.
Yeah.
Whenever you can spend a draft pick and get a good running back, there's good guys that are running backs coming out this year. Derrick Henry's going to be in free agency. We could probably sign him and get a younger running back out of the draft and still have that burst.
Unless we get blessed with a Terrell Davis, you want. Look, here's what I'm thinking though. Here's what I'm thinking. The Cowboys should, and I'm using this word should. That's the operative word. Circle the block back with Tony Pollard. They should bring him back, but not in the capacity of being the every down back, and pair him up with another running back. I think that would be okay. As far as the offensive line, here's my only man, I got to say this, bro, Bill, and I appreciate you for calling in. Why are we the only team that got to have all of our starters out there in order to have a good offensive line play?
No depth.
No depths? Because I seen the Bills, they had a soft offensive line. They beat the brakes off of us. I seen just this past game, Green Bay Packers, going into the game. They had a soft offensive line. Everybody was kind of hurt, banged up and stuff like that. Like unsureties about their offensive line. They come in and they move furniture on us, bro. We've seen the 49ers just only had one guy that we would take, Trent Williams. Everybody else working at Walmart and Fred's and dollar stores and stuff like that. And they whooped our ass. You know what I'm saying? So why all of a sudden we got to have Zach Martin. We got to have Tyron Smith. We got to have Tyler Smith. Why we got to have everybody? Go ahead.
Because of depth. We don't have enough depth, and like the players that come in, they can't. The players that are coming in aren't like they don't have the chemistry as like Tyron Smith, and like when Travis Fredericks was there, he was like the main person to hold it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zach Martin, like
right.
Whenever you lose stuff like that, you lose the chemistry. It just goes to what I'm saying. It just goes downhill. And then what I'm saying. That's the same thing that happened on defense. We didn't have no depth.
Yeah.
That's why we were playing safeties at linebacker that don't know what gaps to hit. They're used to being in the open field to make a tackle. When you have them run up to the line, they don't see the guys that they're supposed to tackle.
Yeah.
And so, like not having depth, like Will McClay's drafted really, really good for a lot of years.
Right.
But I don't know what's going on with the player personnel. It's just got to be something. And I wouldn't mind them bringing back Tony Pollard on a team-friendly deal. It's just, is he just going to be looking for that big payday, because he don't know how much longer he has?
No doubt,
man.
man.
That's how a lot of players are. Whenever they get hurt, they're like, man, I got to take the biggest deal because this might be my last deal. And so it's just one of those things where you got to try to see what's going to happen.
It could be late at night, kids ask for ice cream. Just because they ask for it, they're not going to get it from me. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the Jones family got to look at it, bro. Appreciate you for calling in, man. Thank you, man.
All right, you too. Take it easy.
Yeah, good call from Bill, man. And speaking of this draft class from last year, keep in mind, to be fair, it takes 2 to 3 years to properly grade the draft class. But the direction that we went D tackle, tight end, linebacker, right? O-line guy, defensive line guy, Junior Fihoko. So we in this pickle right here that, most of these guys didn't really give us anything outside of a few snaps from Mozzie, 2 touchdowns from Schoonmaker, which was pretty much we seen forced. We already look. The craziest thing is it's kind of like you taking that chip, and there's nothing wrong with you having a party, but there's one unwritten rule in that party. Whatever party you go to, and especially if it's a Law Nation party. If you're going to have the dip, you get one scoop. You don't double dip in that with that chip. That's man law, and that's the universal rule of laws with the chips. You take the chip, you scoop it, But you don't take the chip, scoop it, and then you take that same chip and scoop it again. You just don't do that. And that's what the Cowboys did with Schoonmaker. They double dipped with that dude. Somebody was telling me earlier that, hey, man, you know, A-Chain was right there. It would have been a good lethal combination for the nation, baby. Tony Pollard and A-Chain. Tony Pollard, Rico, and A-Chain. It would have been a better situation. But neither here nor there. I got from the 804, you're live on the nation, brought to you by Prize Pick. I know you're not double dipping, man. Talk to me, man. You're on the nation. Talk to me.
No, sir. I ain't double dipping at all. How you doing, man?
Hey, man. Doing great, man. Can't complain.
Yes, sir. I just had wanted to allude to what I see with our team that I feel like is a must. Is our disciplinary issues, man. Like, that stuff got to be addressed. Like, even if we get the key pieces that we need and talented players, if they're not disciplined or get held accountable, we'll still be trending in the same direction. Because as you can see, we got a talented enough team to win 12 games in a row, 3 seasons in a row, but we still lead the league in penalties 2 out of the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Now, to me, that's coaching. That's coaching, man. And to be honest, it's like first of all, we got a few dogs on our team. We ain't got too many dogs on our team, man. We got like nice. So look, you got nice guys and undisciplined guys,
right?
And that is the recipe for disaster. To be honest, now Jake Ferguson, he a dog. We need a few of them guys on our team, but most importantly, you need a coach to be a dog. Your coach got to be no nonsense. If Sam Williams messed up the whole year, Sam Williams will never see the field. Matter of fact, Sam Williams will get cut. I don't care how talented you is. That's in the message.
But here's what I gotta say though. Here's what I gotta say, fam. Discipline is another way too that people fail to realize that we don't talk about. What's your name, fam? I didn't get your name. What's your name?
My name King Brian, man, from the 804.
From the 804. So here's the thing.
Sir, King Brian.
There's also undisciplined things that happen on the field that don't warrant the flag. Like if you're supposed to have foresight, what you supposed to do? Peel back, come down and field, right? Foresight. If you just safety, you got to come down and field. If you got cutback responsibility, that's what you got to do. If you don't do that, you are an undisciplined team. Jeez. Look, and that's what problems we have. Yeah, and if you if you get a chance to make that slide as a coaching staff or a coaching organization or whatever it may be, that's just as bad as a penalty that absolutely throws flags. When you are an undisciplined team, even with the discipline of the eyes or what your responsibilities are, and if the coaches don't fix that up, I will get it. I will understand if it's week 1 or week 2. But dog it's been week 5 and week 6 that we've seen some of the undisciplined character. Right.
I agree.
Right.
100%. And so look, that all leads back to the coach. Because either Dan Quinn, we gotta have a tough conversation, right? And Mike McCauley gotta drop his kahunas and put disciplined players on the field, right?
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of stuff that great coaches do, man. They make those adjustments, so.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in, bro.
Man. Okay, I appreciate it, Lord. Thank you, man.
No doubt, man. Good call from him, man. So when you are an undisciplined team, I think that's where pieces of our problems come at, though. I think that's where pieces of our problems come at. And you can't win with them. And you want to win without them. I think that, and I can't stand the Niners, but they had Singletary out there, and they had a tight end who was really good. I think his name is Vernon Davis. And he was like, I can't win with him. He benched him. He was a real good player. Got his mind right. And ever since they had that stern coaching situation, he excelled his game. We need to have that type of stuff here. We need to, man. We definitely need to, man. A-Chain, Charbonnet would have been good. Killer, appreciate you, man. But, that's what Cowboys are suffering from the most is culture. That's why I said we can get a Bobby Slowick in here or we can get Ben Johnson in here. But will they have the balls or the nuts to be able to say, hey, This is what I'm calling right here. Jerry, I get it. You want to have this player out there on the field, but he's running the wrong routes. I get it. You paid him money, but it's a sloppy route by Brandon Cooks. Sloppy route. Yeah, he's a veteran on the team, but it's time for me to put Tolbert in that spot. Somebody who's going to fight to the ball. I think that even Cole Beasley, y'all go look it up. Cole Beasley said, ain't nothing wrong with that route. Ain't nothing wrong with that play that Dak Prescott threw. Just a sloppy route by Brandon Cooks. And Brandon Cooks, he is a veteran on his team. Now, if y'all know more football than Cole Beasley on that particular route of this team, then y'all call in and let me know. But that's what Cole Beasley said. There should have been spit coming out of the mouth on one of them coaches saying, hey, dog, hey, this playoff time, man. You the veteran on this team. And somebody need to be interchanging, talking to Dak Prescott too. It goes both ways. Coaching matter. Ain't that right, Marv? From the 206, you in the mix? Talk to me, MJ.
What up, family? Like I said, I ain't going to get on here making blame to the owners. They did what they had to do. We had some goofy players that played sorry. Look what you just said. Brandon Cook, that's his fault on that play. You know what I'm saying? Now, the other interception was Prescott. He should have, and McCarthy, when what you call show job, had the halfback, should have been on the other side. He should do that to Cook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was the two faults right there. Now, on the defense
oh, my
played
God.
soft.
Go ahead.
The defense was the most horrible defense I ever seen in my life. They couldn't check me and your grandma.
Nah.
You could have got out there and ran a route with a hamstring. And 26, I'm so disappointed in you, man. How do you make the Pro Bowl and you play 10 yards off the whole game? See, this is what I'm saying. This is why we don't hold these guys accountable. I hope he here. He's a nice guy, man, but you play like doo-doo, bro. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, though. Is Bland a zone cover corner or a man-to-man corner?
Well, if you're a good corner, you can play.
You can play it all, but no. What is his best skill set? He's man.
In the slot, he played man. He should have been close up, and that's Al Harris' fault.
Oh, so he's not there. So wait a minute, man. So it's Dan, Al, who, Joe Witt, who?
It's
all three of them.
It's all three of them. But Al Harris, no, he's a DB. If I'm coaching my DBs, if I'm coaching the Cowboys DBs, I'm going to make it so hard for them corners, them receivers to get off the line of scrimmage, and I'm going to tell my safety, you play your zone, and the other say, don't come on my side. Hey, boy, number 6, if I see you go over there to number 28 side, I'm taking your ass off the field.
Let me ask you this, MJ. Let me ask you this. Is Shaq a post guy or perimeter guy?
Shaq is a post guy. He's going to kill your ass.
Right. So what if you coaching, what you going to do to make him work? What you going to do to make him work?
If I'm coaching who?
Shaq.
Defense?
Yeah. You go Shaq. What you going to do?
I'm doing like they always do. Shaq stand down low to destroy you. So now y'all got 3 men, and me and you got teardrop shooting, Raw. Even if we miss, he gonna get the rebound and put it back in. So
that's what now that's what I'm saying, MJ. So I'm gonna use my players to the best abilities of their assets and to their skill set. I'm not finna get Steph Curry and say, hey, I want to put him down inside the post, which I know that's not his skill set. I'm gonna have Curry on the perimeter. You know. So sometimes when we start looking at this thing from a fan base, I get it. We angry, but when I start to look back at the all 22, I'm sitting here like, hey, all year long, you didn't have Shaq playing on the perimeter. You had him down inside the post. Why, when we get into the biggest and the brightest of the stages, you going to have that brother out there in the perimeter? What's going on here? You know, it's such a fact that I can't make this stuff up. I'm trying to tell you, man.
Lord, I can't believe this guy was playing 10 yards off the whole game. And she's scared. I look up to her, I say, man, is you hurt, bro? I said, 24, get ready. So 26, take your ass down. That would have shocked them. I said, what the? Hey, Israel, play like you're supposed to. 21, you can't cover. Fuck, they going to beat it. Y'all ain't playing like shit anyway.
Right.
21, get your ass on the sideline. 25, 24, y'all get in and play bump and run. You safeties, help them over the top.
Man, and look. Let me tell you this too, and let me say this too. Just to use this as an analogy, you got a shooter that's cold, right? He just shooting, and he ain't hitting nothing. He just hitting nothing. What you do? You bench him. You put somebody else in there, man, or you change the base.
Hey, man, give me somebody here that's gonna take this ball to the right. This fool keeps shooting jumpers. He ain't even trying to take these guys off the right. See, that's our problem. The Cowboy fans, y'all like, oh, man, we need Billy Johnny. Man, fuck that shit. Excuse my French. We got a team. Look, number 67 and 66. And I kept telling y'all, 66 and 67 was balling against the Redskins. They give up no damn sacks. We got linemen. I don't want to hear that shit. We need some other linemen.
No adjustments sold, man. And MJ, on the offensive side, who on that defensive front on the Green Bay Packers side that you would take over the people that we have here?
You say it again?
On that defensive front for the Green Bay Packers, who would you take over? Osa. Who would you take over D-Law? Sam Williams, Armstrong.
I don't even know none of them dudes.
None of them dudes. Them dudes got 4 sacks on their quarterback, though.
Them dudes got 4 sacks on. Well, wait, that's just so bad. Well, some of the sacks cause a dumbass Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott, Dak got to play better too. He can't be taking the sack, got to throw the ball away as well. Yep.
And look what you say, Law. Everybody on here, listen. Go back and watch the Washington Redskins game. How 66 and 67 was fighting them Redskins linemen trying to beat them in their motherfucking mouth. Excuse my friend. We got 70 and 73 back. Man, these guys are soft as fuck, man.
He couldn't do it all for himself, man. Scheme was terrible on offense and defense and special teams. MJ, in closing, in the words of Skywalker, still brought to you by Uncle Charles too.
I'm like Michael Irvin, the playmaker said, get these motherfuckers. Excuse my French, Law, can I say it?
Go ahead, man. Shoot it. You know,
that's like Michael Irvin said, get these motherfuckers out of here and don't let the sun hit them in their ass. And all you damn Cowboy fans, stop talking about we need some other motherfuckers. We got some fucking ballers on the side. We got Ron Yates. We got everybody. And get them fucking sorry-ass linebackers out of here. Wait a minute.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Let's go, man. Go Cowboys, man. MJ, appreciate you, man. Yeah, jeez. I didn't know he would go that hard. But, hey, man, at the end of the day, Wanye can't make a play on the sidelines. You know, he can watch it. He can't make the play on the sideline like, hey, man, I would have been able to be there. We had Buddy. Look. Cowboys was selling this dog on defense. There's no way possible that my eyes deceive me. There's no way possible that y'all can sit back here and tell me that 33 is better than Devin Harper. There's no way possible that y'all can tell me that 14 was better than Devin Harper. We got rid of him. There's no way possible that y'all can tell me that 33 was better than Rashaan Evans. There's no way possible that you can tell me 14 is better than Rashaan Evans as it relates to what they do at linebacker play. There's no way. There's no tangible tape that you can pull up, even if I can just show y'all last year's tape of Rashaan Evans and on top of that this year's tape, that it was equivalent to what those boys did was better. No, that's not it. And I get it. Rashaan Evans came into a game, I forgot which game it was, and he was down the field and he had to cover. And they threw the ball and they called it, he got a flag or something like that, and they benched him. They gave that brother the shortest leash of all time. This man's leash was this short. But everybody else, they give them a doggone whip around leash, man. Like, come on. Rip all the way around the world. They miss assignments. So what's valuable more? Somebody getting one lucky pass on you for 15 yards down the field and you end up having a penalty, or somebody consistently gashing you for 9, gashing you for 8, gashing you for 5, gashing you for 9 yards, running the ball. It's equivalent when a team runs on you, ladies and gentlemen. That is the equivalency of someone docking the ball. It's demoralizing, dog. That when somebody run down your throat and you can't stop it. They manipulated everything. Killed us with play action. I got from the 541, you're live on the Nation. Talk to me. From the 909, Donnie, talk to me.
Law, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Talk to me.
Okay. How you doing, Law?
I'm doing great.
We've spoken from time to time this year. I'm the school bus driver. If you forgot.
All right. Yeah.
So I'm off. I got some time off because I'm healing my foot. So everything's going well. But I hear your frustration. I hear Cowboy Nation's frustration. I vented Sunday night because I have two brothers that are football fans as well, and we always talk football and so forth. And I got a niece who's a Cowboy fan too, and I text her every day.
Bless her heart.
And I was surprised of how knowledgeable she was when it came to the game of football. Because she was venting too, and she texted me back and she said, "Unc, why do we play that damn zone all game long?" And I started laughing because I didn't even realize she knew what she was talking about.
Right.
And so I said to her, I said, you know, her name is Keisha, but I call her Niecy. I said, Niecy, the only logical explanation that I can come up with is that Dan Quinn was protecting Gilmore.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we found out today he tore his labrum. He has to have shoulder surgery.
How long you been watching this live feed?
I just turned on.
You just turned on. Okay, so I'm not going to give you the story. It's too long. But what I'm going to say here is those are excuses, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Because before the trade deadline, I banged on this table, this very much so table, about, hey, let's make sure we beat the excuse monster. Because it will show up in a three-piece suit, hair slicked to the back with the man in black shades and everything, and you'll knock on your door. Because what will happen here is you got to get in front of it. We knew that Gilmore was long in the tooth. The expectations for him to play 17 weeks were very slim, just by the odds by itself, right? We can't lean on the hope mechanism that we hope that he can stay healthy. So the Cowboys had every opportunity to call Denver and say, okay, we'll give you a first or we give you a second for Patrick Surtain. Or they had every possibility. I believe the Chicago wanted 2 seconds or a second and a third for Jalen Johnson. They could have did that and added those boys to the mix so that when moments like this, we wouldn't be talking about this, right? So granted, by Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn saying that, okay, we're going to compromise the entire team for one is ridiculous, right? There should be no room for that. And the Cowboys deserve the grave that they are in right now, and that's even including the linebacker room. But go ahead.
Law, I agree with you 100%. I'm not making excuses.
Right.
I'm saying myself, okay, if you know Gilmore is because the Cowboys knew, okay, the Cowboys knew how injured Gilmore was. Then they say it all the time: next man up.
Next man up.
You got a couple of corners that you can put in there, but don't take away or do something that you haven't done all year long. The Cowboys have been a man-to-man defense all year long. Now you get to the playoffs and you're going to change up? It makes no sense.
Vent, man. Come on, vent. Go ahead, get it out. Get it out.
No, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
We've been talking about the linebackers all year long, okay? Dan Quinn thought he could get away with these light guys. No. They always say, when it comes to the playoffs,
teams are going to expose your weaknesses.
They
They're
will.
going to expose them.
Right.
It happens every single time. The regular season, okay, they don't get into detail, or they say, okay, all right. But when you come to the playoffs, okay, we gotta attack. What is the Cowboys' weakness? Couple of teams exposed it during the year, but we're gonna make sure we attack that in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's been our weakness all year long.
Yeah, man.
And
it's,
like
it's
I
crazy.
said, I can't make excuses. I'm not making excuses for Dan Quinn. I think he dropped the ball. I think he should have said, okay, Gilly, you can't go, man. We're going to put I can't even think of the corners that we have, Ikwamu or the other kid that had a good training camp, 25. I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah,
but,
Nashawn. But, man, I appreciate you,
Nashawn,
man.
right.
I thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you for calling in, man. Donnie, hey, appreciate you for what you're doing, driving those school buses, bro. I know that's a hard job to do, bro.
Yeah.
Dealing with
Appreciate
them kids,
you, Law.
man. Appreciate you, man. Salute.
All right, salute.
Good call from him, man. It has hit the 3 o'clock minute, man, and I appreciate everybody that's sitting here waiting to jump on the line maybe tomorrow. And I'm trying to get people that I didn't get a chance to talk to before, but Swayze, Eagle fan Darius, Brandon Ross, Cowboys Mike, and Danuch, man. I appreciate all of y'all that's in the chat. In the phone line, Chris Blunt. I see all of y'all, man. Dr. Q and Coach AJ. I can't get to y'all now, but I appreciate y'all. We're going to always try to do these phone lines and let you guys talk. But for right now, I'm pressed against time. It's 3:06, and I got to bounce. And we're going to read through the super chats, and we can get on up out of here. But Cowboy Nation, here this stream is also brought to you by Rogue Shop. Be sure to check out Rogue Shop. They have unbelievable products and merchandise there. As far as your D3 vitamins that you can get there, as well as to protect your immunity and your mind and stay focused. We have mushroom coffee as well. Not necessarily coffee, but you got mushrooms that you can take. And they have other things that you can partake on to alleviate any anxieties or any memory losses or any things that you're going through with sleep that you're having issues with. Check out rogueshop.com, and also be sure to use promo code LAW, and you will have not a good time but a great time there. I appreciate you, and I saw you in there, Choctaw. I just couldn't get back around to y'all. Cowboy Nation, we can go back and forth talking about this and that, and I seen your action pile say, hey, stop the excuse for Dak Prescott or stop the cap for Dak Prescott. Here's the thing with Dak Prescott. He's office furniture. So my thing is, for those who want to get rid of Dak Prescott, who do you want? What do you want? Who do you want to go to? Like, who's the quarterback do you want? Who do you want? What do you want? Because that is even what my guy Jesse was saying, and I forgot to pull this up too. Jesse, it says trade Dak right here. He says, with Dak, this is the guy's name on Twitter or the X app. With Dak, we already know what the end outcome will be, right? Why does everyone think that can't be replaced? At some point, we have to move on, try something new. Green Bay replaced Rodgers with Love, but we can't. And basically, Jesse said this right here. No one said that you can't replace. No one said that. But all of the naysayers say replace him. Has no answer with who? With what? Who do you want to replace Dak Prescott with? Who do y'all want? Who do y'all want? Who do y'all absolutely want? Who do y'all want? And at this point, where are you going to go? You're going to replace him with, you're going to sit and die on the sword for $60 million and say, okay, we're going to usher out Cooper Rush out there, right? And see how that works. You're going to usher out Trey Lance and not even have it as a competition. That's not smart stuff. You want to just say Trey Lance given the position without challenge? That's not thinking. That's not logical. That's coming from an emotional spot, ladies and gentlemen. You can't be wee-woo and wishy-washy with that type of mindset. That's illogical thinking. That's literally you going into the car lot, you got 7 years to pay off the car, and you sitting there saying to yourself, all right, on the 6th year, I'm just going to park it on the side. You got 1 more year. You can own the car in 1 more year. Just pay those little payments and be done with it. Now they're going to repossess it, and all of those 6 years you paid on the car, and the car is already upside down. You can't trade it in. You can't do nothing else. You might as well ride it till the wheels roll off. The way Green Bay Packers planned to move on from Aaron Rodgers was a calculated risk, and they calculated right. They drafted Jordan Love. They groomed Jordan Love. They made sure that Aaron Rodgers taught some things to Jordan Love. And when it was time to say sayonara to Aaron Rodgers, did they get something back in return? Law, you're implying that Dak is irreplaceable? No. Listen to me. That's not what I'm implying. So don't abuse the word implying. You just abuse that word implying. It's common sense. That's the reality of it. It's common sense. You're going to have to move with a plan of action. Remember what I told y'all earlier, when I had that job going door to door, floor to floor, Pitney Bowes. I made sure before I left that I had something insecure. A nest egg, a safety release valve. I didn't say, well, hey, I quit. At least that job base pay was $45,000 to $50,000. I can at least get that. And if I can hit quota, we can make at least $85,000 in Mississippi. That's good money. I'm not finna leave that job to go work at Walmart because I didn't like the job. No, that's real stuff. That's the reality. But I kept applying. You're going to get more no's than you're going to get yes. But the excuses would be, hey, man, to be in something that you don't like and stand in it and don't have a plan of action. So you yourself got to always move smart and wisely. The Cowboys got to do that. Don't just cut your losses and say, hey, man, we just going to roll with Cooper Rush for the 2024 year. We just going to roll with Trey Lance or Benjamin DiNucci. Sheila, I appreciate you. That's not making wise and smart sense. That's emotional. Neither here nor there. We're going to read through these super chats. Felices, I think that's how you say your name. Appreciate you. Who you got healthy, Sean Lee or Michael Parsons? We haven't seen the full capacity of Michael Parsons. But we know Sean Lee can do X, Y, and Z things when healthy. We know he can do X, Y, and Z things when healthy. But Parsons is generational. Josh Keith says for $199, Saints just fired their offensive coordinator. Yeah. Ernest Ellsbury says, hello, Law. We need someone that's going to bring leadership and discipline, structure, heart, and accountability to this team. I'm a diehard fan in the late 60s. Yeah, and that's why we go back and forth. Do you go get a young coach who will get gobbled up with this media and figure things out from there? Or do you go with the old coach that can bend some things? People fail to realize this is a unique job being in the Cowboys. Anything and everything that you say get magnified. Anything and everything you say get magnified and multiplied by multiples. And by being a young coach, not saying that that's not possible, but if you go to the Texans, it's 1 or 2 or maybe 3 people in their media department. You come over here to Dallas, it's 30 of them. And it's a bunch of YouTubers. Think about it. Look at the YouTube community. It's 1,000 content creators over here. They're doing the exact same thing that I'm doing right now. No other fan base got multiple content creators like we do. None of them. But that's a whole nother storyline. And we are the best. Cowboys content creators, we are the blueprint. Everybody takes pieces for what we do, and they formalize what we do. You're seeing with the same replications of what we do. That's just how it is. Chris214 says, is it any chance Mike get a Jason Garrett treatment? Far as staying for so long, I don't know. I don't know. It could be a situation there. It could be a situation there. But we would know more down the stretch on where Jerry Jones is going to go with this. I'm thinking that he's going to look at it and say to himself, 12 games a year, man, that's hard to pass by. And then 16 games at home, those 16 enjoyable moments that he had at the crib. And that's a lot of attention and eyeballs to his team. He may not fold up like that. We have right here B Weave with the $5 super chat. DQ should have hit his hat bill forward. You know, he wasn't bringing that backwards hat energy for us. Okay, so yeah, you said Dan Quinn should have pulled his hat forward. Yep. Yeah, lie. Garrett says seeing CD get punked like that hurt my heart. Yep, it did, man. He could at least turned around and pushed him back. That's all we were looking for. Canned Art says sometimes we have to give credit to them that came prepared. Dan Quinn is a big failure for zero adjustments to the run game. Exactly. He went in and said, okay, we don't have the resources, and we're just going to try to utilize what we got without making the adjustments. The craziest thing with Dan Quinn, we seen this happening before the trade deadline, and that's on general manager, management, as well as coaching. They should say, hey, we need personnel. We don't have it, but they got rid of it. All right. We have for the Charlie G with the $5 super chat. He says Dallas can't beat Shanahan's tree with the coaches they have now. They have to hire a staff that can beat the Shanahan's tree. They need to scheme, man. Now, we did beat Sean McVay, which is a part of the Shanahan tree. Sometimes teams are matchups is just what it is. Aaron Jones had a great night. Matt LaFleur mopped the floor with Mike McCarthy and as well as with Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn at this moment is 0-6. 0-6 versus those head coaches like your Kyle Shanahan, those that was on his staff. Sean McVay was never on his staff, by the way. So he's 0-6 with those that was on his staff, which is kind of alarming. JD from DC for the $9.99. Hey, Law, if you don't fix your stream, pause. You know, I appreciate you, man. You said he going to raise his membership fee. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to you, JD from DC, man. Appreciate you. Smoke One for you says, hey, Law, what is the excuse for Stafford in Detroit? I think that, you know, here's the craziest thing. The Rams supposed to be after their Super Bowl in a rebuild mode, right? Rams last season, they got hit with a slew of injuries, right, which caused them not to get back to the playoffs. And this year, they made it at least back to the playoffs. The Rams, for me, I'm going to hold my hands up like this because in the last 5 years, they at least lifted up a Lombardi trophy, right? But they did lose by 1 point. They can take that back and rally house with that. I don't think that we had that longitude and latitude here. It's every year Super Bowl or bust, regardless of the situation. Regardless of the situation. And Jean brought up a great point. Mike McCarthy couldn't beat the 49ers with A-Rod. And that's just how it goes, unfortunately. But those are excuses. Cali Cowboy 499 with your super chat says, a team like chemistry experiment, mixing the wrong elements can make the room explode. Control the elements and you can build a rocket ship. You got to have the culture, though. You got to have the culture. You do. And I'm not saying that Mike McCarthy don't have the culture here, but 2 times in the playoffs, he said that, hey, his team was nervous in 2021, and then this past game, hey, they were ill prepared. quite looking at the face of all of the people. Had the face longer than Shaq's feet. Yes, and Sanjay says Bill Belichick is the perfect coach to pair up with Jerry with his abilities and bring discipline and fundamentals to turn Jerry can mask Bill's poor drafting weakness. Damn, man, that's a real good super chat right there, boy. Ooh, Sanjay, man. Oh, my gosh, man, because that's just what it is, man. That's a real good super chat right there, bro. Real good super chat right there, man. That's the best super chat for the 2024. That's the best super chat. Bill Belichick is not going to give you a lot. He's not going to give you a lot of energy, man, in those pressers. And these Cowboys like to do these long 2-3 hour pressers. Bill Belichick, it's going to be like watching paint dry and grass grow. And Jerry loved to talk. John Stephen Jones loved to talk. Jerry Jr., he must be talking somewhere else, though. I'm quite sure he loved to talk, too. Charlotte, all of them, you know. Bill Belichick issues been drafting. But Bill Belichick himself can find somebody and elevate their game all the way up. J.C. Jackson is like a version of Deron Bland when he drafted him. When he got a chance to get J.C. Jackson, I think he was undrafted or what have you. Kyle Duggar was a guy that was a hybrid guy. Bill Belichick found a way to utilize and use. So if anybody, and then on top of that, if you think about it, Bill Belichick knows Stephon Gilmore, right? He'll fit right on in like a glove. But it is what it is. I don't think he's coming. I think that it's going to be another year with Mike McCarthy. Truth Only for the $9.99 says we singing the same song until we get the real football culture in here. Nothing matters. We can tear down the team all we want. We're going to be in the same spot until the culture change. Hashtag cultural matters, man. I agree because what's happening here is what you want to be uniform. You want to be regardless when you play in the Ravens, you know they're going to bring defense. You know they're going to play good defense. When you playing against the 49ers, you know two things going to happen. They're going to run the ball well, they're going to play good defense. They're going to run the ball well, they're going to play good defense. The quarterback, they can put me out there. They're going to be like, hey, man, that law dog, shoot. You know, he all right, man. Sure, he gave some good completion percentages out there, man. He's all right, you know. But the 49ers, man, they took Jimmy Garoppolo to the Super Bowl. Even the culture was already established there even before the coach. It's just a culture there. Jim Harbaugh took Kaepernick to the Super Bowl. He was at the 49ers. And what they did the same thing. Played good defense, ran the ball. Culture, that's that culture. You're going to play good defense, you're going to run the ball. Two different coaches, same culture. But at the end of the day, the Cowboys...
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Mary Lon says, shout out to you, Mary Lon, thank you. So, Law, who you blaming? I'm blaming the entire team, but the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. Yeah, and I'm blaming the team. I'm blaming everybody, the entirety of the team. I'm blaming myself. I blame me. You know, I'm the reason why we lost. You know, maybe I moved differently on that day. Maybe I could have drunk more coffee, or maybe I could have sat different on the steps, you know, before the game. So I don't know. It's just what it is, Mary Lon. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Ortiz says, imagine drafting the class leading linebacker to only put his hand in the dirt. That's what we are doing with Micah. The SHITs is crazy. Yeah, I have no problems using Parsons on the edge, but just don't marry him there. Just don't marry Parsons to the edge. Let him be a bachelor. Let him be everywhere out there. A Mike linebacker, sometimes you put him on the Will side or the Sam side. Let's not marry Parsons to the edge. He's not ready for commitment there. He need to run the streets. He need to be a wild lion. He need to be anywhere, everywhere. Sometimes I need to see him shoot through A gap. Sometimes I need to see him on the seaside. So what the Cowboys ultimately need to do is say that they got a specialized weapons in Parsons. He's not an edge guy. He's a weapon. And what they going to do is they should get a cornbread-fed linebacker. That's all he did in his entirety of his life. I want to play linebacker. He grew up at the age of 3, linebacker, at the age of 8, linebacker, at the age of 15, linebacker. Got the linebacker neck and everything. I want a true linebacker. That's all he want to do. So y'all find that man for me and match that up with Parsons, right? And if he want to be Parsons, let him podcast. That's what the kids do. I've seen kids now, they paint their fingernails, right? They wearing weaves now. Kids different these days, right? I've seen a kid, he got a bald spot up here. They just go to the chair in the barber and they put a whole piece right here. He's young. He's young. And that's what kids do these days. They wear color contacts and fingernails. That's just what they do now. And we accept them all. So if they can play ball, let them play ball. If they want to talk, let them talk. But I want Parsons everywhere. That's just how it is. With the Steve Harvey piece, the man unit. Jeez. Charlie G, man, with the super chat says Cowboys can't beat Shanahan's tree. The 49ers, Packers, Miami, Rams got away, but Bills, though, or the tough-nosed teams that the Cowboys can't beat them teams with this staff. With that plan of procedures, they can't. Yes, indeed. No offense to the fellas that paint their fingernails. You guys are welcome here, too. And the ladies that, cut all of their hair off, and stitch other stuff on. Freddie J, thank you for becoming platinum level 3. Appreciate you, Freddie. Alex Knight says, trade Mike McCarthy in Gallup for Tomlin. By Dan Quinn. Salute to Mike Tomlin. I think the world of Mike Tomlin. But look, at this point, I don't want nobody from the Steelers, man. I don't want nobody from Pittsburgh. I don't want nobody. Nope. Nope. I don't want nobody from that doggone Steelers, Packers, nobody from them 2 organizations. But, yeah, I feel you, though. I don't think Mike Tomlin would get here. He wouldn't last that long, y'all. Sanjay says Tyrus Wheat would have started over Sam Williams. Cowboys reward players that make mistakes and bench players that have potentials. And
you having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
No doubt. Look, I can't let more callers on, hot boy. I got a clock to kill right here, and I don't have the unbelievable time. I'm closing out, basically. Talib Thomas, appreciate you. Yes or no, do you bring back Mike McCarthy? I think the Cowboys bring back Mike McCarthy. At this point and at this time, I hate to say this with Mike McCarthy, but I've seen all what I know I can need to see from him and Dan Quinn, and I want culture now. I think that we are an undisciplined team, and we've been undisciplined since Mike McCarthy been here, unfortunately. And those things, the clock management sides of it, I know. I love the 12 wins. I love us going to the playoffs, but I'm not bringing Mike McCarthy back if it's up to me. Give me Jim Harbaugh. Give me Bill Belichick. Give me one of those 2 dudes there, and see if they can establish some culture in. I just need to see another team. I want us to be a run-first team. I want us to be a hard-nosed defensive team. All of this offensive stuff, I've never been a fan of that. But if they go into that bag with Jim Harbaugh, he's an offensive guy. Give me some mixtures. Give me Mark Verbal. How you say that man's name. Give me him. Give me Bill Belichick mixed in with Verbal and all of that. Bring Bill Belichick in with pieces, though. Don't bring Bill Belichick in by himself. That's how I look at that. And I need somebody that can move just with some sternness about themselves. They call a play. If they don't run it, I need to have consequences and repercussions for that. I don't need no soft person to say, hey, well, better luck next time, Chuck. No. AJ says, I truly hate saying this because I'm behind Dak 100%. But I don't know if he's good under pressure now. I hope it's just because the receivers weren't open. I get what you're saying, but at that point, you don't have to apologize for your thoughts on that. You don't have to. You don't have to. It's going into his 9th season now. So I get it. Receivers running the wrong route. Well, I need to see Dak pull that receiver to the side, spit at him, talk bad about him, do something that what Troy would have done. That's what Peyton Manning would have done. Staubach would have done it. We need to have that chastisement, right? We need to see some type of an aggressions on the field. I don't need to see a guy with no emotions out there. I don't need to see that. I need to see some emotions out there when things are going bad at times. I need to see some type of pumping up of the crowds. I need to see pumping up of everything when things going bad, not just when they go good. That's why I say it's twofold. Give me sounds of the sidelines when we lose. Don't just give me sounds of the sideline when we win. I need to see what we talking about when we lose it. Never judge a man by sight alone, nor by the height he has grown. But also swearly judge that man in every situation, the good and the bad. This too shall pass. I need to see what we looking like when your head is down. Who is motivating? Pick that head up. I need to see that. Y'all see me when I'm down. Y'all see me when I'm out. Y'all see the transparency sides of law. Y'all don't only see me when I'm doing great. So I can equally judge this thing. There's documentaries, man. I've seen Troy laid out like Family Guy. I've seen him get hit, concussed, and all of that stuff. Battle tested back. I've seen Emmett with a broken shoulder, shoulder all torn together, Get back and wrap that stuff up. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We need to see it all. And y'all, as fans, y'all can't hold my feet to the fire for being objective. Some of the fans, y'all, the ones that's over optimistic and positive, y'all stab me more than the doggone haters. Y'all be in there writing 2-3 page soliloquies of paragraphs on how I'm folding on Dak. No, Dak folded on us. He's the one. I had somebody to write me a whole paragraph. When Dak said that he sucked. I never said that he sucked. But by him saying that he sucked, it opened me up to say that, yeah, he said that he sucked. He's speaking those things into life. He's manifesting the fact that he sucked into life. He's speaking it to existence. He's breaking down his future. He can't be saying those type of things. I got to play better. I got to perform better. I know that this sounds crazy, but I will be back at this moment next year if I don't excel in my game. It's a shame that we didn't get a chance to win this game. That should have been his statement. Not, I sucked this game. Bull sugar, there's no more tomorrow. This is cliffhanger. He is like my guy. Who played that movie? Adrian. He trying to pull somebody up and it slipped out of the hands. That's the delete button. Oh, shucks. So you can't take words out of a content creator's mouths and get mad. Now I got to go all year long and protecting him and uplifting him and saying, no, it's going to be better days. It's going to be, hey, sun shines. Yeah, the rain. Look, that's why I love the good book. It falls on the just and the unjust. The rain just don't fall on the good. So if we defending you all year, saying that these people are wrong for calling you ass on TV, and we defending you all year fighting, going back and forth with the 3-letter, 4-letter network all year, for you to concede and say, yeah, I'm ass, man. Come on, man. That took something away from me. That's mindset and mentality. I don't care how many degrees you have. I don't care how much money you have. But don't fold and let people say the things that you are not. That's emotionally. And I'm saying these things for truth. It'll be a blessing if he can get to my age, right? And I'm not saying this because I'm trying to walk around to say that I'm better than him. But no, in life, God has blessed him abundantly. But don't paint yourself into a corner and say, yeah, I suck, man. I suck this game. No. That made me more mad than anything. And then for me not even to hear it, for someone else to bring it up and say, nah, those are his words. That took away everything. When did Kobe say he sucked? When did Jordan say that he sucked? All I hear that Jordan said, I missed more shots than I made. I stood up to sundown. I shot into that basketball rim until it looks like an ocean for me. I digress. Is that Javi says Harbaugh has won and been to the Super Bowl with different quarterbacks. Bill need Brady. I'd take Harbaugh over Bill, as long as they can establish that culture thing. Sanjay says, then why didn't Quinn stand on the table for Harper? That's a big question mark there. Quinn stood on the table for a guy that's 205 pounds. Quinn stood on the table for a guy that played weak side linebacker to play Mike. Quinn probably stood on the table for a guy that's 6'7", that can barely turn like this, over a Wanye Thomas, and his name is J. Ron Kurtz. So Quinn standing on the table for something don't mean that he's right or wrong. But what we can see, and I'm not saying that we know more than Dan Quinn, but at some point, the prisoners can't run the asylum. At some point, Dan Quinn had to see that Parsons is only have one pressure in that game. And I know for sure, and I know everybody in the chat is not blind to this. Parsons is a damn sure better linebacker than 33. Parsons would have been more of an impactful player even if you just benched 33 and put Lavin there. Elementary stuff, we all know that. We can give you the equivalency of what Parsons did on that edge with Sam Williams. I think Sam Williams can give you at least one pressure, 2 holds or what have you. And I know he had 2 holds or what have you. I know that Fowler can give you 1 pressure. It wasn't like that whatever Parsons did on that edge was phenomenal. And I'm not beating up Parsons. But what you can't do is bend to the rules of your kids. My daughter asked me the other night at 1:30 in the morning, Daddy, I want ice cream. And when you get to a certain level, when they ask you something that's out of line, all I did was I looked at her. And she knew that it's a hell no. I want to play edge. We need that type of coaching. We don't have that here. I want to play edge, you play edge. I want to play safety. He probably plays safety. I want to be a linebacker. He can play linebacker. I want to be a DB. I want to be on my podcast today. I can't make it in for extras. Okay, we can't have that. And I'm not beating up Parsons, by the way. But discipline goes on the field and off the field and in between stuff. Robert Howard says, just tell me if Dak or Tony plays defense after Dak, though the pick 6, he scored 32. Truth is defense couldn't stop a parked car or parked turtle. Hey, man, all I heard is that defense win championships. A team that don't play defense, man, that can't stop something, ain't going to win nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or win something. That's just what I'm going to say here. Dak Prescott, of course, we can say that he took those turnovers, that turned those into 14 points. Double-edged sword. And for everybody, and I'm not beating you up, is a killer K. We miss LVE. I'm not going to beat you up. But what I'm not going to do here is act like LVE walked on water around here and was that doggone linebacker that everybody said, oh, man, but watch out for 55. Because if my memory served me correct, did LVE play week 3? And didn't that team run for over 250 yards on us? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that LVE is trash. Shout out to your mama, LVE. I know you follow the channel. But LVE was on that field when they ran for 250 yards. He didn't get hurt until week 5. That's all I'm saying. So the scheme, even with LVE, was still compromised. Walter, shout out to you for the $1.99. AJ says for the $5 super chat, if a new coach comes and any players that doesn't want to get with the program can go. I mean anyone. Well, new coaches, you lose sponsorships. You do. You lose sponsorships with that. Dak did that with CD on Sunday. Oh, he did get into CD face? Is what you said? But we need to see more of it. All right. AJ Meadow says, and I don't know why Jerry has such an allegiance. Let me see if I can figure it. Such an allegiance to guys that haven't done nothing. Yeah.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Jeez. Yes, indeed. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I know that you guys are right in the middle of the road with Dak. There's people that say, hey, get rid of him. There's people that say, hey, keep him. Hold on to him for dear life there. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboys going to be talked about regardless. Win, lose, or draw. There will be people that don't even know football, like old boy Brian Baldinger say, making memes, talking about this team. There will be people, many people, saying that, hey, man, look, Kiki Ken, it's been 29 years, Law. We're going to be hit with it. And that's the realities of it. We're going to be hit with it. And there'll be those like, hey, Trey Lance 2024. All I'm saying with Trey, don't just give it to him. Don't just say, hey, here you go, Trey. Let him fight for it. Let him fight for it. He got to outperform Cooper Rush and Dak if they're going to keep those two right there. And Oxnard. And whoever else we draft. And if the Cowboys going to get a new coach, you better have him before the draft. That'd be kind of crazy to have him after the draft. That's working backwards. And allow that coach to be the coach. And if the Cowboys going to keep the same thing with Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn, then expect these expectations. Just expect these expectations. That's just all we've said. It's not rocket science. Insanity, for what I've learned, is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. We're going to have to declare something. Now, going into this ninth season, right? The final tail end of his contract. What you going to do now? Like one of the people said, it's been 6 coaches, right? 6 coaches. Would you want to make it a 7th coach now? But the context do matter. You see, everybody say this exactly, that we supposed to win the Super Bowl with Shane Gailey. Dave Campo, Bill Parcells, Wade Phillips. I don't care. Jason Garrett. We supposed to win the Super Bowl in those 29 years. We supposed to win the Super Bowl. Everybody else get grace and mercy. So whoever new we get, just understand there won't be no situation of building the program. How many years Sean, not Sean McVay, because he got him a ring there. How many years have it been for Kyle Shanahan over there in 49ers land? How many years? It's almost a decade for him being over there. The expectations are not the same. And he's a good coach over there. Y'all be fire and brimstone in him right now. Hey, man, come on, man. Kyle Shanahan, man. Come on, man. I can't stand him, man. It's 6 years too long, 7 years too long, man. Kyle Shanahan trash. Bring back Jason Garrett. Blah, blah, blah. Right? Right or wrong? So don't lie to me, y'all. Don't be lying to me, man. And saying, hey, man, all we want to do is just get to the NFC championship game. Nah. Don't be lying to me and saying, hey, man, all I want is get to the Super Bowl. No. Nobody want to get there to ultimately lose, and nobody want to get there to not win it. Those are two entendres that you can write down. Because I've seen a true Cowboy fan will say, hey, man, we want to win this thing regardless. And trust and believe, I've seen a true 49ers fan. The 2 times they made it to the Super Bowl to ultimately lose. That's why I knew 49ers fans were different from Eagles. He don't even bring it up. That brother, my brother, y'all thought I fell out of the chair. My brother was staying on the ground for weeks, curled up for what the Ravens did. To this day, Ravens, I mentioned Ravens, he gets sick a little bit. I mentioned Chiefs, he gets sick a little bit. Nobody want to get to the Super Bowl to ultimately lose. That's Eagles talk, man, when they talk about that. Hey, man, at least my team made it to the Super Bowl. That's people with low expectations. No offense to the Eagles fans that's watching. Debo72 says, bring back Jimmy Johnson. Yep. But, excuse me, real offense to all of the Eagles fans that's watching. Yes, indeed. Cowboy Nation, at the end of the day, we get everybody's best shot. All 31 other teams, they don't like us. All 31 other owners, they don't like us. They ain't going to work with us. It's just what it is. So we got to keep our head when all about is losing theirs. Trust ourselves when all men doubt us. But make allowance for their doubting too. And if we can wait and not be tired by waiting, which we've been waiting for a long time. If we can think and not make thoughts our aim. Meet with triumph and disaster. Treat those two imposters just the same. That's why I said sounds of the sideline should be both of the same. The good and the bad. Not just show us the good, and then when the bad happened, we say what happened. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like it.
If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your whole life for, broken and stooped and build back up again with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and cast it off from pitch and turn and never breathe one word of your loss, you have unlocked the true meaning. Cowboy Nation, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. DC for life, not for short. We about roll those credits. Appreciate y'all, man. One love to y'all, man. Let's go.
Right. I want my flowers while I'm living.
Tom Landry out of the grave, baby.
I just wanna run it up. Count a check or something. I've been really in the field, let up.
Yeah, Choctaw, get him. They can't name you the quarterback before Alex Smith over there in Chiefland, right? They don't even know who the quarterback was. They don't know who the quarterback. Some of them don't even know the quarterback before Pat Mahomes. You right. He said Chief Nation. There ain't no such thing as Chief Nation. Look at them. They rambling. They all on Google right now trying to find who's the quarterback of the Chiefs before Alex Smith. They don't be knowing their team history. Nah. Now come on, Cowboy fans. Don't be giving away the answer to the test now. Lisa says Dak admitted that he played like trash, and I like that. I feel you, Lisa. That I do agree. He played like trash, but he shouldn't announce that he sucked. Google searches went up. Hey, this is going to be the real killer. Who was the coach of the Chiefs before Andy Reid? Oops. They scrabbling now. God damn. What number Tony Gonzalez wore? Them jokers looking all through school. One love, y'all. Appreciate y'all. They don't know. I be at home alone. I be in zones alone. I be on road alone. I be really in the field. Let her rush, I let her feel. What number Priest Holmes wore? You know. What team did Priest Holmes come from? What number Steve Bono wear? Shit. Ain't that old though. Until next time, Cowboy Nation, man. We up out. If I offended anyone, just watch this film. This offended everybody right here. Just watch this film right here. Jeez. Yes, indeed. Who did they acquire Joe Montana from? If I offended anyone, charge it to my head, not my heart, man. One love to y'all, man. DC for life, not for short. We up out. Salute.
Give me my theme music.
Nah, I'm going to have to delete that one, y'all. It's all about this right here.